better go. Okay. We're
Oh
live.
my God, we're live. I wasn't ready.
We
Forgot to hair and makeup.
are. There we go. We're all purdied up now.
We are,
We're ready. We're ready.
as Gina said earlier. Oops, the thorn between two roses. Hey, Paul.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Opposite word. Opposite world. All right. So we have about 30 seconds before the show starts, people. And
He's got it
get my
easy.
comments up. Okay. So we got a few viewers already. This is good. This is good. So what you're gonna do is, if you want a little mini reading with Paul, you can read that banner that's going across the bottom there, right? And what you want to do is put your area code, your first three numbers of your phone number in that chat room, and you're gonna call. Hey, Shelly, long time no see.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds.
Hope everything's okay at the minute.
3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everybody. I am Gina B, and the place to be is here with me and Mama D every Thursday evening from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You are in the Fox Den. And this lovely gent between us two fine women is international psychic medium Paul Francis, joining me once again, and the first time with Mama D with me. And she is going to tell you a little bit about Paul.
Do I have to? No, kidding.
Yes, you do.
Okay. Paul Francis, let's see.
This is going to be interesting.
Okay, look how big his intro is. No, kidding.
We shortened it down a novel.
Paul Francis is an Irish-born international psychic medium. His first connection to spirit was when he was 5 years old. That's like 100 years ago. His mom told him he spoke to people no one else could see. And then he would point them out in pictures. And these are people that would pass 20 years before he was even a gleam in his mother's eye. Then came the lady. His mom would stand outside his bedroom door listening as he conversed with somebody, and when she opened the door, there was nobody there. The woman vanished. Later, he found out that she was his master guide, whose name was Shan, and she still works with him to this day as he travels worldwide. When he started school, Shan stayed behind. She didn't connect as much, but she was always around, just in case he misbehaved and needed a scolding. Sorry, I have to put in my 2 cents. You know me. Paul was drawn to the martial arts, the study of the human potential, energies of the chi and the ki, the healing energy of the human being, the progression of his life from human being to human doing. Paul was also a musician, performing with people like U2 and appearing in movies like Doc Martin and a few others. Later, he was diagnosed with testicular cancer, then lymphoma. Gotta have that one there. Cancer.
Lymphoma.
Lymphoma. I don't know where I put that in there. That took 6 years of his life. Got to the point where he didn't even remember his name. When he recovered, he learned a huge, huge lesson. Don't waste time. Don't judge others. Live for today. Take time out every day for yourself. And these are messages everybody should get. Communicate with those you have in your life every day, because you never know what's going to happen. After all this faded, he found his spiritual calling, the desire to help his human brothers and sisters learn about life and not focus on death, which has been his focus ever since. He is Paul Francis. He loves life and will live life and love.
Spot on.
I didn't do too bad.
Live life and love.
I didn't do too
That
bad.
was
I didn't
pretty
torture
cool.
him.
Rock
And
on.
he's a pretty good
No, I was expecting. I was expecting to be roasted a little bit more, to be honest with you.
No, I promised Gina I'd be somewhat professional. I just got a few days.
I made a promise. I did. It's my fault. That comes later on.
Yes, especially since we've got, but especially since we've got 24 people already viewing this, and we haven't been on but 3 minutes. So
That's
hello,
wonderful.
everybody,
That's
and
wonderful.
welcome.
Yes, welcome to the
Hi guys.
and welcome, Paul, back again. I know it's been a little bit, I'm sorry I couldn't get you on sooner, but I my show books up too fast. What are you gonna do? I'm booked now through.
That's because you got such a good show.
Oh, why? Thank you very much. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. So, as Mama D
Oh,
was
it's
saying
been
in
it's an honor.
there, you went through quite some stuff, quite some major health issues and whatnot too, and
Yeah.
so that your best takeaway of that is living life to its fullest. You want to kind of go into that a little bit more and how that like continues today?
Well, well, crikey. I mean, it could take two to three shows just to talk about the experiences I had while I was going through the cancer. It literally, which includes NDE, near-death experiences. It includes um, interacting with spirit in the hospital. It includes interacting with spirit that were connected to the doctors. It's a massive eye opener. But as much as there is positivity out of learning about that, I really try to teach the world and everybody who I encounter, don't wait until something like that happens before you wake up and understand what it's all about. Do it now. Um, I mean, I think that I was, after about many years of sitting down and really analyzing this, and I'm a kind of guy that analyzes this right through the end. I challenge myself. Did I really see this? Did this really happen? On many hours and hours and
Mhm.
hours of meditation and dealing with my guides, they were like, it happened. Yeah, and it happened for a reason. Now
Right.
you've got to take what you learned and bring that to the people. At one point with my NDE, I remember, and this, I love talking about this because, the light that everybody talks about, you're drawn to the light. I didn't
Mhm.
see any light.
Mhm.
There was no light
They
there.
turned. They saw you
It
coming
was
and they
just
turned the
dark.
lights out.
Well, the lights were completely out. They were really out, and there was no light whatsoever. It was absolutely totally dark. But I knew people were there because the way you can kind of still see outlines, sort of shapes
Mhm.
in the dark. And I remember seeing these shapes all around me, and then I had these people touching me, literally fingertips, just touching me all over, head to toe.
Weird.
And then one of them in a beautiful, kind voice, in a gentle, kind, loving, non-threatening, almost feel like you know that voice from somewhere before, said, "It's time to go back." And I remember arguing with this person, saying, "I don't want to go back." And they went, "Well, you have to." And I said, "No, I don't. And I know you can't make me." And they went, "You've got work to do." Boop. And that was it. And I was,
Bam.
and I was coming
There's
back.
bullies on the other
But
side as well.
Did you? Can I ask you a question?
no,
Because I was at that point, and I realized I was dying, and I called myself back. I said I don't want to die, and I had to keep screaming it until it came back to me. But I slammed back into my body. Was it like that for you?
no, it was really unique. It was on the way out. It was like a pop, a pop sensation, like literally, you pop one of those little plastic bubbles in a bubble wrap, like that. It was like a popping sensation. And on the way back in, it was like climbing into your bed, only your bed's nice and warm.
Mhm.
You've come in from outside, it's a cold outside, but you climb back into your bed and your bed is perfectly cozy and you're like, oh yeah. But as I was climbing, but the weird bit was as I was coming down, because I remember looking down and seeing the top of my head. I remember thinking, oh, that's weird. But as I looked out over the ward, I could see all the other patients in the ward, but I could see people all around them,
Wow.
literally.
Wow.
And I remember this clearly. And when I close my eyes and I see this again, I see it absolute, total and utter clear, total and utter clarity. There was a gentleman walking along the corridor to the side of the ward I was in, and he had two people, one each side of him, with their hands gently resting on his shoulders as he was walking along. But he had one of those um, things that transport, like a drip bottle. Yeah,
Right.
I don't know what you guys call them in America, but
IV.
a bottle with
Yeah.
stuff on it.
IVs on the
IV, an
yeah,
IV.
and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But as soon as I opened my physical eyes, these eyes, literally, as soon as I opened them, everybody disappeared. Boom, they were gone.
Yeah.
Even the two people around the gentleman, they went gone.
That's
So I was lying there thinking to myself, all right, okay, well, what the hell was this all about?
mm,
Um, and I mean, the next thing. Now that could have been 5 minutes, 50 minutes. I can't remember. But the doctors came to me and they went, "Oh, you look a lot better." And I said, "Right, yeah, I feel good." And they said, "Good. We were just about to get you ready for an ice bath." And I went, "Excuse me?"
wow.
And they said, "Your temperature. We couldn't control your temperature. Your temperature went right through the roof, and we could not control it. But it seems to have dropped now." And I saying to the doctor, because I deal with issues with comedy. I can't. My go-to thing is comedy. I just I just go into jokes. And I said
Yeah.
to the doctor, "Well, just as well, really." And he said, "What do you mean, just as well?" I said, "If you'd have put me in an ice bath, you'd have been in it with me." And he was, we had a bit of a giggle about that, but
I would have woke up
put
in
me
an
in
ice
an ice bath.
I'm in trouble.
You know what? I'm
Oh, that,
in seeing what happens. Have you ever heard of the place Lourdes? You've heard of Lourdes? It's in
Yes.
no,
France.
no.
It's where the three children
Saw the Virgin Mary.
interacted
Oh,
and
wow.
encountered the Virgin Mary.
I'm telling
Well,
you.
the waters are healing, but they're healing. They say the waters healing. I've never been there, but the people that I have spoken to that have been there said the waters are ice cold. And I said, well, that's why people get up and run out of it. That's why you put somebody in who can't walk, they'll soon walk out of it. Boom, it's freezing. But
Wow.
um, the thing is like the sensation of leaving your body and the sensation of returning to your body kind of takes a way bottom to the experience that you encounter with the beings that you encounter with them. Because so leaving your body and returning to your body doesn't take precedence. It kind of like it's secondary to what you've just encountered,
Oh
if
yeah.
that makes
Oh,
sense.
definitely. But like, I won't forget that slam back into my body. Although I had a broken collarbone, so it hurt a
Hmm.
hell of a lot. So but it was like a wham,
Wow.
and that was crazy. But
Hmm.
I have a caller already.
And
So
we also have a couple of questions in the
Oh,
chat room.
yeah, so we have a couple questions in the chat room, but
sure.
I'm going to oh, I need this. I have too many mouses.
Get a cat.
Too many mouses.
Too many mouses.
Mises.
Yes, I got Mises. I got pieces all over here. Piece. Hey, Shelly,
Hey,
how you doing? I miss you,
yeah,
girl.
my friend, how are you?
I'm
I know,
done.
right? I missed you too.
Right. Paul, can you hear her? Okay.
I can hear Shelley. Yeah.
Okay. So Shelly,
Louder, I'm from Massachusetts if you want.
what question would you have for Paul?
I don't know. I'm kind of just in general, because I've got a lot
Sure.
of
Fire away.
shit rolling around today. Just far away, yeah.
Well, that's Shelly from Massachusetts, and she's gone through
Hi, Shelley. How are you?
some stuff.
Hi, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good to go. Sorry, I didn't hear a little bit.
Yeah. What did you say?
It's been a rough couple of years, but I'm okay.
So,
Good. Good. It's not what you've been. What you're going is important.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
So I don't
Good. Good.
really
Good.
have. I don't know if
So
I
what can I
really
do for you, Shelley?
I'm not. Just give me whatever you got, my friend.
she's just kind of to get anything from Shelly. Well, I know that she lost a friend of hers, and I know that that's what you're looking
Yep.
for.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it's not necessarily the loss of the friend that I'm getting a picking up of an energy around. It's more of really taking too much time in contemplating your own mortality. There's a whole lot of you sitting back and really going, how much longer have I got? How much more time have I got? And focusing on maybe illnesses that you may have had, or people that are around you that have certain illnesses, and wondering, are you next?
Are you thinking like that?
Yeah, you kind of cut out a little bit there, so I'm just trying to piece it together.
Oh, sorry. Well, basically, he's saying that you're kind of living on the edge, thinking that you're next instead of living your life.
Yeah, I feel like I've kind of always done that. I'm always just kind of waiting. I feel like I've always kind of waiting for, just waiting for the inevitable, waiting for the shoe to drop, kind of, you know what I mean? That kind of shit. So,
Okay.
sorry. But,
Okay, well, the energy that I've got, there's about three energies around you actually. Two of them come on mom's side of the family, and one of them come from the other side of the family. So I don't know if there's distance or not between yourself and your father, or distance between yourself and your father's family, but I kind of get distancing from on your dad's side of the family. But your mom's side of the family feels quite protective and quite warm. I got a pink line around you, which means to me maternal connection. So there's a mother grandmother figure around you that wants me to acknowledge you. The kind of thing that I got to talk about though is you, they're kind of taking responsibility for how you think. It's almost like you were programmed from your mother's side of the family, and I'm saying that with love and affection. I'm not saying that as a negative. It's kind of like you've inherited your mom's or your mom's family's way of thinking, which and that's what we do as human beings. We are programmed by our peers. We are programmed by our parents, our grandparents, and those people of kind of loving authority that are around us. We tend to be programmed by that. Then we get programmed by our teachers. We get programmed by people we encounter. So what I tend to do these days is teach people to reprogram yourself. And we as human beings, and this is the kind of feeling that I'm getting around you is, and you literally said everything that I said. I said you're sitting there waiting for you to be next, and that is a complete and utter waste of life. So I'm kind of told to tell you off. I don't know who the MA name is around you, like Mary, Maria, Marie, that kind of a name, but there's an MA name that want me to acknowledge. And they want me to acknowledge either the seventh month, July, or there's a seventh of a month significant that they want me to bring up. They tell me to talk about a birthday and anniversary, one coming toward us, but also one, we're kind of in the middle of dates. One is just past and one's coming toward us. They're trying to draw my attention to that. Now, can I ask you a question? Are you smoking?
yeah.
Still?
Yeah.
I
Don't.
tell you about that, girl.
I got it. I got to tell you off for smoking.
Bad.
What?
Bad girl. No smoking.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Are you smoking right now?
Yes, I just lit a cigarette, literally, right now.
Okay. Well, they're telling me to tell you they're standing just to your left.
Who?
Who is?
Your mother, your grandmother, the older lady.
The women on.
My grandmother?
Yeah, your mom's
Yeah.
side. Your mom's side.
My mother's, my granny, Irene. My granny,
Okay.
man.
And who's the MA name?
Huh?
M.A. Is there any M.A., Mary, Marie, or anything like that?
Mary, Maria, Martha, Martin. There's an MA name.
To me,
They want me to acknowledge that.
to me, MA is mine.
Is what?
Is
Mom.
And that's what
Ma?
my mother,
Oh, Ma.
that's what my mother calls her mother. Ma.
oh Ma?
that's-
Gotcha.
that's what
Okay.
my mom-
Okay.
We're Massachusetts.
That's okay.
We're rough. We're Ma. We're not mother.
No, that's okay.
Ma. Come here, Ma.
Yeah, Ma.
All right, I got you. Okay, no, I mean that's
Ma.
it's not necessarily about who I. It's not about who I or what I call them. It's about how you guys connect. Now,
Right.
if you say a specific way of how you connect to your mom, then that you're right. And I'll just one thing I learned from John Edward was you're the mailman. Okay, just deliver the mail. Don't read it. Just deliver the mail.
That's right.
So that's what I do. I just literally go, hey, this is the way it goes. So anyway, the thing about the message is very, very clear here. It really is. Stop living in the past and get on with looking at you.
Yeah, Shelley.
I know, hon. You know me well, Gina. We talked about this, but
Yeah. Yes.
I've done the
I gotta just one thing before I let you go, darling, is I don't know if you're dealing with a medical related issue at the moment, and nothing to do with this virus. There's a medical related issue they want me to acknowledge is coming up around you, and they want me to acknowledge and say it's not going to be as bad as you think it is. So stop. They're telling me they've figured out how to talk to me now, and they're like, oh, so okay, I'm just telling them to calm down. So I'm just saying, they're saying, first of all, stop thinking of the living in the past, start looking toward the future. Whatever the medical condition that you're dealing with right now isn't going to be as bad as you think it is. Okay, but I really, really have to really import onto you this, the law of attraction. What you give off as energy, you attract as energy. So if you give off, I am sick, I am down, I am sad, then that's what you're attracting to yourself. So you really, really have to cut a line under that and go, do you know what? I'm going to change how I think. I'm going to change how I see the future. I'm going to change how I see myself.
Yeah, I don't feel like I outwardly do that. I feel like I inwardly do that. But I mean, Gina knows me.
Yeah. She's a
project
clown.
this
She's,
nonsense and this can't breathe.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter if you inwardly do it. As you inwardly do it, you still attract the energy. The energy comes off of you. You don't even have to. I mean, you wouldn't know. When I was on stage, I really couldn't. I couldn't wait to get back on the stage, and I shouldn't have been on stage really. But I was on stage still going through radiation treatment. Nobody knew. Nobody knew it, but I knew it. But the point being here is nobody, your friends and family who look at you may not know that you're not feeling great, but you do. So what you give off behind the scenes, you still attract.
I'm going to put this up here. If we get the right mouse here. Roger Garza is in the chat room. He says, I'm getting the back of the leg and behind the knee. So is it from work? Are you hurting that way? Physically, like pain? She lugs and carries.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Me? Yes. I have pain every day, all the time.
Mm.
I'm a FedEx driver. My body's beat back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she does. She's an animal. She's an animal. I love her to death. I do.
I'm a hard worker. I don't let stuff get me down. I plow through everything and anything, no matter what it is.
Good girl.
I take care.
So start attracting great things to yourself. Start attracting, start understanding that you're good enough, you're well enough, and you deserve all great things. But the energy that I feel around you is that you'll say those things, but then you'll feel guilty for saying it. Don't do that. Just be knowing in your mind and in your heart that you deserve all great things.
There you go.
You got me.
All right, Shelley, I gotta let you go because we're filling up with calls. I got a bunch of calls over here,
right.
And but
Gina,
thank you for
I love
calling.
you, my friend. I'm glad to talk to you.
I love you too, dearly. You know that. And
call
me
I hope to
sometime.
talk to you or see you soon, anytime. And thank you, my friend,
All right.
for reading. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Right.
Pleasure
Bye-bye.
meeting you.
Bye.
Okay, so that was call one, and isn't that strange how that goes? It's like right from the get go, it's like, well, what do you got, and then all of a sudden, the spirits connect, and then wham, it's like boom, 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 like you were like, relax, but all you people that are in the chat room, hello, thank you very much for joining us, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 calls in here.
I only have one with a first three digits, 732. Nobody else has put in digits in the chat room.
Well, I don't have. I have a 713.
A big hi to everybody in the chat room. It's great to see you guys, especially Roger. If Roger's in the chat room, what an absolute pleasure. I refer to Roger as my brother. He's my Mexican brother.
Yes, he is. So there's Shelly right there. She said, "Whoa, thanks. Yep, you are so welcome. Can't call, have a cell phone. All right, that's fine. That's fine. All right, I'm gonna just take this caller and we'll see who it is. All right, you want to do that?
Okay, sure.
Hello, you're live on the Fox. Then who do we have? Hello, 717 area code. You're live on the Fox.
713 is Julia.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll put you back on and we'll see if you want to come back on. 713 is Julia.
Hello?
Hello, Julia.
Yes.
Hi, you're live. You're on the air.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. What would your question be?
Hi, Julia.
Hi. It's nice to meet you over the phone. No, my question would be, I'm just feeling really lost right now with work, and things have gotten a lot stressful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of wanting some guidance as to what I should do in the next, year regarding work and life in general. So I'm an empath, so
Okay.
I feel things, but I don't know. It changes every day because of free will, so it's like I'm lost right now, and I don't like feeling lost.
That you said you've landed it. You've actually answered your own question. It's got nothing to do with work whatsoever. Work is kind of an excuse, and I understand that because we're complex. Human beings are very, very complex. Human beings are the fastest computer on this planet. Okay, but what we don't do is we don't give ourselves that kind of adoration. Now, when you say that you're what did you say you were? You're empathetic. Sorry, I didn't pick it up. What did you say? You're empathetic. Well, every human being is an empath, and every human being is psychic. Okay. However, you've got more to you than that. You're not exploring your full gifts. Okay. I keep seeing squiggly Oriental writing around you. Okay. So I would consider advising you to look into the route of healing, of a healer. Okay. Being an empath. I'm sorry. Can I ask you? Did you lose a child?
No.
I'm getting a little sparkle in spirit around you. So either that relates to yourself or somebody directly connected to you. But I'm getting an energy of someone who lost a baby. The baby didn't go full term. It was a miscarriage, something along those lines. But I'm getting a little sparkle in spirit around you, which means to me a child who'd never made it to the earth.
Do you see my guardian angel around me? Because that would explain the child. It's my guardian angel.
Right. You're okay. Let me help you out here, and let me kind of when I answer questions like this. By the way, it helps obviously the person asking the question, but it also helps everybody else in the process as well. I love it when people they refer to the children as the angels and stuff. Like I refer to my kids as my little angels and so on and so forth. But your babies, our babies, our parents, and so on and so forth. The angels and humans are two separate entities completely. Now your baby will definitely be around you. That's absolute, total and utter. Okay, so will your family in spirit. But your guardian angel. I'm sorry. I'm getting part of what you're saying.
You might be thinking of, because it's the only person I've known that's ever lost a child.
Who did?
Okay, that's good.
My grandmother that passed when I was 4 years old.
Okay.
I have never lost.
Right.
Okay.
My daughter's sitting next.
Okay. Then I'm going to stick with what I see. I won't sort of variate. I'm getting the sparkle around you. Okay, that means to me a child that never made it here.
Has,
Yeah, it'll either yourself, your brothers, your sisters, but it'll be directly connected to you.
okay.
In other words, a blood connection. You follow me?
Yeah.
Who's the Peter, the Paul, the Pat? Who's the P connection?
I don't know anybody that starts with a P. Oh, my Uncle Philip.
Right.
Philip?
I love it when they do that. I don't know anybody started. Oh yeah, there's a Philip. Okay. I'm getting pulled towards the P connection, whoever that is for you guys. But let's go back to what we were talking about. You being lost. Okay. So as soon as your voice hit me, my energies open up and I connect to the energies that are around you. Now it's kind of lost of direction rather than being lost per se, and that's okay. That's all right. We do that, and we as human beings we go through as we kind of climb the ladder. We don't start at the bottom of the ladder and run straight up, but we go up three or four. We stop for a second or two on one or two rungs, and we go up a little bit more, and then we stop again, and we go up a little more, and so on and so forth. Now you're kind of in one of those
Just worried over
those sort of those changes in your kind of like your plane in your development as a person. I always say that we develop uh, physically, and we also then develop spiritually, and then we develop spiritually, we also develop physically. So you're kind of going through one of those little junctures where you're reevaluating who you are, where you are, and how you're going to get to the next level. But I wouldn't really put too much effort into that because it's going to happen anyway. Okay, I kind of get the feeling you're on the right track, but you're not too sure which stop you're supposed to get off. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting really around you. And I keep seeing those squiggly lines up around you again, and the Oriental figures. So I don't know what this Oriental scenario is, other than it being Reiki
my
symbols.
stepfather.
Okay.
Hold
My
on, Paul.
stepfather, who I live with, his mother just passed away, and she was really close to me. And she's Chinese.
She's Chinese.
Oh.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. All right.
Yes, she just
Okay.
passed.
Well, there it is. So she
Okay.
you.
And I have
That's okay. Well, if she's just come past, she obviously at the end of the day,
parents as well.
the Oriental names would be different. So, and what's her name?
What was her name?
Liwan.
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 Okay,
Harder.
I was kind of I was thinking that's maybe with a P sound I was getting, but it clearly isn't. So,
I called her Ma.
okay,
Ah,
you call.
But,
Okay.
but not like the New York where it was like, Ma!
yeah, not ma, but ma.
Why? I was like, I'm a little Texas girl, and Mom married her.
Man, that's good. That's good. I really like your energy. Your energy is really strong. I really, really do like it.
It is.
You're not anywhere close to your own potential. I'm not too sure whether you realize that or not. It's kind of like you're just sort of like tapping the edge of your potential. You've got so much more to you than you're really tapping into. Being sort of you're and I mean this with love, and I mean this with affection, and I mean this with the concept of guidance. But you're not really taking on what you really are supposed to be doing. You're kind of like just skirting around the issue, if you know what I mean. Okay.
So would she need like psychic
And I,
development class? Is that to develop psychic abilities or healing abilities?
well,
Or develop-
yeah, there's an area that she's just not going into. Either because she doesn't believe in her own abilities, or either she doesn't believe in herself per se. But it's
Yep.
I'm and I want to say this to you, and I got it. It's not my information. I just got to deliver this to you, and I mean this with love. You're living a life
Go ahead.
for somebody else, and not yourself. You're living your life to appease other people. People have gone. I think you should do this. I think you should do that, and you go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you're not actually doing what you want to do. So my advice: do
Right.
what it is you want to do, and then you will enjoy life 10 times that with what you're doing now.
Exactly. That's why I'm going back to school to be a nurse.
Good for you.
Good on you. Go back to school. Go and take it. Go down the path that you were meant to go down. You're not banging into that. You've got a huge potential, and you're not even touching it. You're not even tapping into it.
I know. You're 100% correct. I've never heard anybody be more correct.
Let me just tell you something. It's kind of like you're standing in the middle of the road, and on the right-hand side you have a bank that is packed full of millions onto you, but you go to the other side of the road and you go into a little account that is about $50 in it. And so instead of going to the other side of the road and going, oh my God, I got all this money, you're kind of going, well, I got to go and make do with what I got. No, that's not how the world is. The world is yours to take. Get out there and make it happen.
Well, I think she's on her way. If she's going back to school and it's in the medical profession, she's doing, that's going to key up her empathy and her empathic abilities. That's going to key up her healing. Yeah. So there you go. So that's perfect.
I love it.
Perfect. You're doing well. All right. Well, I am going to have to.
I don't know is breaking off like my emotions from people. Because with my ability getting stronger and me being in the medical field, I can't be so emotional with people.
That's simple.
So that's my biggest fear. That's what's holding me back, I guess.
No. Okay, let me help you there.
That's easy.
You get, first of all, you get taught how to do that anyway. But what you got to do, it's kind of like being a medium. You can't allow. I can't allow the emotions in. I switched the emotion chip off because if I start getting emotional about everybody's reading, and especially when I do reads when children come through, oh my God! I remember the first time I did read, and I had a husband and wife in my office, and their child came through, and their child was around about 4 years old when they lost the child, and I stayed professional. I did the read, but as soon as they left, I broke down because I'm a dad. I'm a father myself. So I was thinking, oh my God, what did these poor people do? But then you learn and you discover that you cannot get involved with the data. For me to be professional, as would you'll be professional, you have to distance yourself from the emotion, and you'll be taught how to do that. So don't worry, okay?
Yeah. So now here's a little tidbit. Okay, he's also an author. He wrote a book called The Safe Way. Right? In that book, there is a chapter on protection for yourself. Right. So that's your grounding, your shielding. Right. That's what you need to do. I do that twice a day, in the morning and at night. It's overkill, but I'm an overkill person, but I'm in the paranormal field. So, I protect myself, and I put up a huge wall. And if I didn't do that, I'd be crying at every damn commercial on the TV. Right. So that
I need that. Just being in the medical field and being so emotional, you can't do it. So,
right. Mama?
I have to not be emotional. I am fine when I'm reading people that I know, and I get into a different zone, but at work and just everyday life, especially patients, and it's just like that heightened emotion, I need to be able to be cut off from the emotions of people dying around me.
Well, yeah. Mama, you had something?
Honestly, the benefits will outweigh the negatives for you. I promise you that. The benefits will outweigh the negatives.
What I had in my head.
Yeah. Mama,
just a quick something for people in the chat room. If everybody's wondering who Roger is also a psychic medium. So yes, Shelley, if he's giving you something,
it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back to quiet.
I have a whole bunch of I got a bunch of callers in here, and I have there's a bunch on the thing. So I hope that helped. And
helped me so much. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful.
You're very welcome.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay. If you have a 968 or 310, 968 is Deanna and 310 is Justin.
Okay. That's who I put in before. Deanna, if you're still there, I'm going to put you through because that's who I had first. You were first on the list here. Deanna, are you with me?
Yes, I am.
There you are, girl. What's going on?
Hi, baby girl. How can you be?
Hi, sweetie. This is
Oh,
the lovely Deanna. We just had she was a guest on our show not too long ago.
Oh, hey, how are you?
gee, nice to meet you, Paul. How are you? So, what a pleasure.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much. I love, oh, wow, the bounce that you have around you is just amazing. Thank you very much for being here.
Oh my
she's
gosh,
awesome.
thank you. And I'm going to pull that number on you like the other young lady did. I'm going to let you tell me. I don't want to ask you because I don't want to push something out that maybe was meant for me.
Oh, well, the thing about it is, what's meant for you and who's around you. It's kind of like, okay. Well, first and foremost, the thing that I get around you is I work with symbolisms a lot, and I call it psychic shorthand. And I spend a lot of my career in working out these symbolisms with my guides so that the information flows quicker. The very first symbol that I get around you is for sale sign. Now that's one of the best symbols I could possibly give to you. It means significant change. So that for sale sign is like moving house, moving jobs, but whatever the move is around you brings with it an entirely new energy, a new positive outlook, a new push forward, and you move into the next chapter rather than sort of just like tickling along, if you know what I mean. So this there's a whole push around you now. There's something else going to happen in and around the October time that I'm supposed to talk about the 10th as being significant. So the 10th month is going to bring with it as well another significant change. Now I don't know if anybody in your family is pregnant, but I'm getting an addition to the family coming in as well around you guys.
Oh boy,
Could be a puppy.
big enough.
Right.
Could be a puppy.
You never know.
Yeah,
We have a big family,
it's a
so
very big
you never
family.
know. And the
Okay.
money fund that you were just talking about, Paul. Well, we just bought a new house.
Yep.
There
Yep.
you go.
Yeah. I couldn't even believe it.
Okay.
The way you said
A new house.
new chapter too. Can I tell him who you are yet?
Yes.
Can I tell him who you are yet?
Yes.
Right. This is Deanna Simpson.
Yeah.
Yes.
She is the Hanover haunting. This is the book that just came out. She survived the Hanover haunting in Hanover, Pennsylvania. That's her house.
Right.
It was a horrific
Okay.
haunting, and she came out, thank God, alive. She went through hell there, and she
Wow.
finally got out of that house, and just that was like the perfect thing because I didn't want to say anything either. The perfect thing was her buying a new house and that positive message for you, Deanna, that your life is going to be good from now on. An addition of something that's good, that's a definite plus too. And hopefully the book that
Yes.
Joni wrote about your story. And her story has also been on like Dead Files and Ghost Hunters and all the.
I gotta say this. I'm also supposed to talk about. Okay, I'm just going to give you the words that I've been told. It's okay to release the audio, whatever that means. I don't know what it means. It's okay to release the audio.
Hmm.
Okay, so whether you're
Okay.
doing a voice book or
I
doing
know
a book, I don't know what the audio is, but
Huh.
release the audio.
Okay. I understand.
Oh,
We
good.
have a lot of audio, maybe from the house or so forth. That I'm understanding what you're saying.
Oh, it's
Yep.
a lot from that
Um,
house. Crazy.
Now,
Okay, I've got to give you a little bit of grief.
okay.
Sorry,
Ooh.
I've got to give you a little bit of grief. Did you hear me earlier on talk about the law of attraction?
Hmm.
The law of attraction. No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
talking to Shelley and saying what energy she puts out, she can get back.
Okay. Well, basically, there's a law. It's called the universal law of attraction, and it's in my book, by the way. Hint, hint.
Mm-hmm.
But the universal law of attraction states, what you give off as energy, so shall you attract. Okay. But what I need you to do, my darling, is I really need you to get it into your head and get it into your psyche and get it into your whole being that the past is behind you. It's not in front of you.
Yay.
Okay, I know exactly what you mean. I can take that a couple of ways. Yes,
Okay.
I know what you mean.
Because I kind of get the feeling that you're dragging something with you that that you shouldn't have there. It shouldn't be part of your where you're going. Okay, trust me. I really want you to understand that you've come over the brow of the hill. Okay, you've come out of the shadows and you're now in the sunlight. And look at life ahead as being in beautiful meadows and sunshine. The road ahead it's amazing. You've got such amazing things about to happen with you. You've got such great things that it's kind of like you've done the time and now you can actually sit back and enjoy all of the hard work that you had to endure. It's
Oh,
going to pay off.
Yay. Yay.
oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. That's so beautiful. And I know exactly of everything of what you're saying. I know. I
Good.
know without even having to explain it. I know exactly what you're saying. It's very intimate. I know, you know?
Yeah. He's pretty
Who was it that who's the gentleman around you that either has a military connection to the he crosses with the either when he crossed over he had military honors, the folding of the flag, all that malarkey, all of those that wonderful thing that the American people do, they fold the flag and they
Well,
present the flag. Who's that?
you know, the thing is, I lost my father about 6 years ago, but now he was not in the military, but he was also a colonel in Kentucky. Um,
Okay.
but a colonel is honorable. But it wasn't military, if that's if you mean. But I also had a lot of uncles and so forth that also, in the Civil
No,
War,
no, no. Stop. It's
a lot of
okay. Stop.
like that is what.
You,
Yes,
does your dad have the same name as someone else in spirit?
yes,
Right. Okay. Your dad's differentiating himself by saying, "I am the colonel. I am the one with the military."
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That
So
was
your dad's around you. Your dad is very much around you at the moment.
oh great, great. I love that. Yes.
Now he's also telling me to say that he's telling me to talk about the song. He's telling me to recognize the tune or the song that you associate with him.
Oh well, yes. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Yes.
Okay.
No crying. There's no crying in the Fox Den.
Yeah.
Well, actually, just to break and bring in the comedy again. When I was training as a medium, when I was away training, we used to come back to class and we'd say, "Oh my God, I got 3 criers this week. I had 4 people crying this week," and it was, and it wasn't to be like this because we were like miserable. It was the fact that if we were able to bring you to a point where you could release, we did the right thing. So we look at crying as being a release and being a breakthrough rather than the negative. So if you got tears in your eyes, I'm happy for you.
Oh yeah, they're going down the cheeks in a wonderful light. In a wonderful light.
I'm supposed to tease you about your fingernails.
Ah,
What?
your fingernails. What'd you do to your fingernails?
Your fingernails. Something about your fingernails. Did you just get your nails done, or something about the nails that I'm supposed to tease you about?
Oh my God, you're right on both accords. What had happened is I'm so worried about this stinking coronavirus and everything going on. Like I just, oh my gosh, just about picked off all of my nails. Just pick, 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 pick. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I sat down and I just have all of my kids
I know this,
self-taught, and I'm just like,
I know this is
my
a
own nails. I'm
question,
gonna make them
but
pretty
you
now.
guys,
Look at these little nubbers.
oh,
That's bugs. Yes.
well, okay, that's okay. That's just Dad saying that he's around you. But I'm hearing the horn on the General Lee, the Dukes of Hazzard.
Ah!
I'm hearing that over and over in my head.
Oh
Well,
gosh, there was a lot of childhood. When I was younger, we used to watch. You know, we used to watch TV together,
Yeah.
and the Dukes of Hazzard was one of the shows that we would always watch. Yes.
There you go.
hey,
There you go.
oh my gosh, Dee.
Yeah.
Dee, that's
That's
hilarious.
beautiful. It's beautiful. Yes.
I'm very, very happy for you. Well, he wants you to know that. Okay, he's giving me a white rose. Okay, so let me just explain that for you. First of all, it means something to me, but whatever it means to you is you'll be correct. To me, it means an apology. That's what the white rose means. It means that I wasn't necessarily the best dad I set out to be. Didn't mean didn't love my family. That's what it means to me. But if the white rose means something completely different
Yes.
to you, then you're right. Okay.
I know exactly what that is.
Okay.
My dad. Yeah. It's got two strong meanings. My dad had leukemia. My family's from Kentucky. I live in Pennsylvania. He was very upset that I had to go back to Pennsylvania. And he wouldn't look at me. He wouldn't tell me he loved me, wouldn't anything. But he was dying of leukemia, and he was upset that I was leaving. And that was been a
Right.
big burden, like my whole entire life. Like, oh, Daddy, I've disappointed you. But you embarked on the same thing. So you connected the two things with the white rose. My dad was also a big wig with Ford. Okay, like vice president
Okay.
of Ford Motor Credit Company. He traveled a lot. He missed a lot, but it never bothered me.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he regretted that.
Okay.
So
That's okay because I always say to people, those of you guys who watch me on my shows wherever they are, I always say communicate, appreciate, and validate everybody in your life so a medium never has to do it for you. And this is one of those instances where I say, like, this is why I say do this, do it now. Don't wait until someone's crossed over before you say, hey, I really wanted to tell you I love you. But in this instance here, he wants you guys to know that his family was never, it never came second to anything. He had to do what he had to do, and that's life.
yep,
But
yep,
the fact that it comes from, he shows me a rose, means it comes from a place of love. That's what that means. The rose, irrespective of its color, means love to me. So, see, with an apology coming from a place of love means I'm sorry, I wasn't necessarily the best dad I could be, but it didn't mean I didn't love my family. I really did. So, um,
yes.
what I want to say to you
That's
is
true.
this: is don't hold anything negative in your head. Don't hold anything like I didn't get the chance to say goodbye. I didn't get the chance to. Oh my God. Okay, your dad did not believe in the other side of life.
Huh.
Really, what does that mean? What does that mean?
He's just
I guess
he's just telling me that he wasn't
son.
necessarily religious, and he didn't believe that. When he's like, because I'm getting a surprise feeling that, oh my God, when I crossed over, oh my God, this is not how I thought it was going to be. So it's like, oh my God, I could talk to him, I can see my family, I can talk to my family. So he's really excited. It's kind of like I want to take him back to the late '60s. He's kind of going to give me a feeling that he's full of like, he's full of energy, he's full of boyhood energy, rather than a sort of a more relaxed older gentleman. He's more like a sparky kind of a guy.
Yes, yes, he was. I was born in '62, and he was very much so full,
Right.
very much so. But
He wants you to know that's who he is now. Okay, that's not he's not the guy who he was when he crossed over. He's the sparky guy of the late '60s.
Oh, now I know what you're saying. Because my dad had rheumatoid arthritis really bad. He was crippled by it. And right now he's being really sparky and he's loving his life and he's just full of that. Now I get it.
Okay.
Good.
Now I get it. Now I get it.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Well, Deanna, I know how much I love you, right?
I gotta let you go.
Yes.
Yes.
We got a lot of callers coming in. I want to get some other information too
Yes,
out
I
there
let you
about
guys.
Paul.
Thank you
I
so
love you.
much,
Mwah.
everybody. Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
All right.
It's my honor. Thank you very much for being here.
And best of luck in the new house.
Thank
And I
you.
hope I see it soon.
Oh, thank you. You're gonna see it soon. Okay, guys. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
All right.
All right. So again, people, a lot of the things he's saying, and a lot of things that he's that come through in his readings and how the readings work, like spirit guides and cleansings and protections and all that. All this is in his book, right? A Safe Way.
Yeah.
And you can get it Amazon. You can go to that paulfrancis111.com that I put up there earlier. You can see, his books there, but he's also written other books as well. He does his private readings. He has a little podcast that he does, but not little, it's huge. It's huge. It's little too. All right. So it's a huge podcast that he does, and he just actually compiled it all together called Moments. And you can actually go onto his YouTube channel and you can watch them all together. They're all bundled together now. Because he goes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and does these things. And he does meditations. And I mean, this guy, he does it all. I mean, he's there to help, and he truly wants to help. And as you can tell so far, the readings that he's given just to the few people we've had call in, how good he is, right? So he's definitely making the connections. And please connect with him on Facebook, on YouTube, subscribe to his YouTube channel, and you can see all his shows, his podcasts, everything that he does is there. And again, that's that Paul Francis 111. I'll put that back up .com. So that
let me just, if it's okay, can I just talk about Moments for a second? Is that all right?
Yes, please.
Sure. Well, there's 16 episodes of the series. Okay, series 1, the 16 episodes, and every one of the episodes has a meditation. And I decided that Moments was needed. Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I was given a heads up. I don't know. But it seems to me now that Moments is needed even more so today than when I was literally doing the series. Each episode, and I implore everybody to go to it, because every single episode will help you. No matter whether you're kind of balanced and clear of mind, or if you are trying to just make head of the world the way the world is at the moment. Every single episode will help you, but when you go in there, don't go through it like your favorite soap. Don't binge watch the entire series. Okay. Go in there.
It's not a virus binge. It's a daily thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like don't binge, don't watch, because the show, each show is only 20 minutes to half an hour long. So, but the thing about it is, go in there, watch the episode 1, do the meditation, then leave it. Go the next day and watch episode 2. Let the meditation work, because by the time you go into episode 2 and you do that meditation, it'll kind of push the energy of episode 1 to one side. So, but do please subscribe and share it out there with all your family. It's something that the world needs at the minute, and I'm not pleased. I'm not being big-headed and saying, "Oh my God, look at my show." No. The reason it's in there, the reason why it was designed with my guides, and it's come in with my guides.
Yeah.
And the meditation, there's about 5 of those meditations on that series that come directly from my guides. It's not actually me involved. I just kind of like moved to one side.
and they really are. And everybody, if you watch them, you will get something out of them. You really will. If you don't get it the first one, you'll get it the second one. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Um, it's,
One of the things I'm sure you get it as well is I get a lot of people out saying to me, "I can't meditate,"
oh,
and
good, yeah.
I always say, I just say to them, like, "Yeah, you can." And the very first thing that you do is you actually say to them, "Okay, what's your favorite show? What's your favorite TV show?" And they'll go, "Oh, whatever the TV show is." And I go, "So when you get into a TV show, do you get into a particular character per se?" "Oh yeah, my favorite character is XYZ." Well, when you get into that character, are you picking up on that character's energy and kind of what you might want them to do next in the show? They're going, yes. And I go, well, at that moment, you're meditating. And they're like, what? Well, the fact that you've shut the outside world down, you are already in a form of meditation.
Mm-hmm.
When you pick up a book and you start reading the book, you are meditating. When you listen to your favorite radio station, you're not watching something. Your mind has put pictures in your mind is creating pictures. That's why they call radio the theater of the mind. You're meditating. So your mind is doing something other than doing 900 miles an hour that way and doing everything that way, you meditate. So then I clearly show them that they can meditate, and then I bring them to what's called a led meditation. A meditation is when you hear my voice telling you what to do. That's called a led meditation.
Hmm.
Um, by the time you get to the end of the 16 episodes, you'll be able to meditate just without any
So,
issues.
yeah. It's a wonderful thing because I was that way. I was that way with meditation. I was like, I can never do that because as soon as I sit down, it's like, oh my god, I gotta go here. I gotta do that. I gotta rip wallpaper off this room. Oh my god, there's a crack over there. You know what I mean? My brain goes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna get
Well,
the tools.
that's it.
Tools are coming out. That's it.
Yeah. We call it mind noise. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
My
My
first
brain.
introduction to meditation was when I studied kung fu. I studied kung fu in Ireland, and a big part of the kung fu training is meditation and chi energy.
Mm.
And when you start, when I was a kid then, as a teenager, and your mind's doing 900 miles an hour when you're a teenager,
Mhm.
you know. I wasn't thinking of kung fu. I was thinking about I'm going to be the next Bruce Lee, and oh by the way, we're all girls, you know, and that's all my brain was made up of. But you learn how to
Such a
you,
boy.
you discover it by doing little tiny bits, and you know
Can I just
it's
say
an amazing journey.
Okay, I just got to say
Sure.
something. In the chat room, the question was asked, is it true that Paul got kicked off of Facebook? He got banned because of Facebook. I love you, Facebook, but you're putz. Okay, seriously. He didn't do anything wrong. He was just being Paul, and somebody had an issue, and Facebook sneezed or something, and he's banned for a little while. But that's why he's going
He
to
shared
YouTube.
he shared a video that he thought was sending a message. It was a bad thing that someone else did. And he was
Somebody else did something atrocious here in the UK. It was in London.
yeah.
These three guys
Wankers.
were picking on this poor old couple. These three hoods, yeah, they were picking on this old couple, and they were elderly, and they were just literally going. And these guys started spitting in their faces. One of them actually punched the old lady. Well, the gentleman who got out of his car and defended the old couple put a video up and said these guys need to be captured, they need to be arrested, and they need to be, justice needs to be done for this old couple. And I supported that video, and because I supported that video,
Yeah. For
Facebook
that.
took away my live privileges for a whole month.
Not for the beating thing, right? But then there's all these horrible things that they keep up there all the time. But we were talking about this earlier, so
Yeah.
but we're not going to get into that anymore. But it's not anything that Paul did. He was trying to support the better part of the story, and they didn't see
Wankers.
it that way, or they don't pay attention, or whatever.
Well,
They jump.
The thing about it is I don't see a negative. I see an opportunity in everything. Okay, where there's an opportunity in every direction. It's whether or not you're open to the opportunity. So Facebook has taken away the my ability to do my live my live show called Reach Across. Okay,
Mhm.
so what do? I
What do
then
you do?
go and I've now got the time to go and do it somewhere else. Um, I've now brought back my radio show, which is called Spirit Quest Radio. That's returned, but I'm now going to put Reach Across. I'm now looking at bringing that show away from Facebook, so they're going to lose. I'm going to bring it across to YouTube full time. So
Good, good. I'm really glad. I'm going to bring in another. There's a bunch of callers here, so I'm going to bring in another caller now, and we'll
And
get back. We're going to go back and forth. I'm asking you some questions.
okay,
I'm
and a
sure
quick
you make
hello to Paul from Kelly McLaughlin. Hopefully, is that her name right?
Kelly
hi
McLaughlin.
Kelly, how are you, Kelly?
Right. Hi, Mary Jane.
Hi, Gina.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I'm finally not working. I can make your show.
Yay!
Yay! Positive to the coronavirus.
So what? Yeah, right. What question would you have for Paul? And I hope you're well and the family's well and everything.
Well, we are. Thank you. I'm kind of wondering, kind of the same as to what I think Julie was wondering, like what should I do career-wise, what my next move should be, and I've been told that I'm spiritually gifted, and how do I go about that? I know that there's people around me, but I can't tune in to who they are.
Hold on. We lost Paul. We got to get Paul back. He hit his camera or something. But yeah, you are very gifted. We've always told you that. Everyone's told you that.
I swear I did not kick Paul out.
You did.
We didn't.
All right. Now he's going to be
Somebody
in
doesn't
the
want me talking to Paul.
All right. There we go. All right. Hi. Welcome back, Paul. All right. So pick up where you were talking. Just start over again, Mary Jane.
Yeah, please, Mary Jane. The signal broke there.
Oh, hi. How are you?
He's back. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, career-wise, what my next move should be, and like I said, spiritually, what I should enhance on. I don't know, and I can tell that there's people around me, but I don't know how to tune into that. That makes sense?
Yeah. It makes absolute sense. It also makes sense too that your journey isn't very dissimilar to mine. It has been in and out with your spiritual progress has been like a roller coaster. I'm going to ask you some questions, Mary Jane. I hope you don't mind. I just want you to answer yes or no, really. Okay. And please don't these are not judgment questions. They're just questions that I need to ask you to be able to give you an answer to your question. First and foremost, do you get really emotional at the drop of a hat?
Sometimes.
No. The truth is the truth is you'll get emotional even by watching something really on TV. You'll get emotional, and you'll see something else. You get emotional like that. Okay, are you really thirsty a lot?
I try not to be. I try to stay hydrated, but
The answer is yes then. So, and your sleep, is it all over the place?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Oh.
Right, you're exhibiting signs of someone whose your psychic development is on the up. Okay. Right. First and foremost, what we need to do is do a thing called grounding with you. I'm kind of getting the feeling you're not really grounded. Okay. I'm getting two energy fluctuations around your body that I need to discuss with you. First and foremost is the root chakra, which is red. Okay, which means to me you're not grounded. So we need to ground you. Okay. also this it also sounds like it sounds like I'm selling my book, but I'm not. Everything you need to discover about how to ground yourself and how to beef up your psychic protection, etc., is all in my book. However, you're grounding. We need to ground you, okay? And then the second part that I get fluctuating around you is the heart chakra, which is green, okay? I'm kind of getting a massive fluctuation around your heart chakra. So your emotional center is all over the place. And that's why I asked the question, do you get emotional really, really quickly? As I basically see the outline of a body and I see colors flying up and down the body like this. But the ones that are highlighted with you is red and green. Okay, so that means we need to ground you and we need to deal with balancing your emotional center. Now, the next part of all of that is whether or not you want to develop. That's a big, big, big question. And it's a big question people don't actually sit back and really think, do I want to develop? Okay, because you're never forced to develop. You're never forced to be a psychic. You're never forced to be a medium. You either want to develop as a psychic medium or you don't. And here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand: all mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. That's something that people don't need to understand. Now, with you, as I said, yours is very similar to mine. Your psychic ability went up when you were around the age between 4 and 6 years old, and then it tailed off a little bit. Then it came right up again around the ages of between 10 and 14, and then it tailed off again. But it's kind of trying to find its way back to you now. Now, I'm not too sure whether you know the history of your family, but you're not the only psychic practitioner in your family. Are you aware of that?
I'm unfortunately not very close with my family. I'm very certain my son has some abilities, but he's kind of not. He's 7, so he's not really doing anything now.
Right. Okay. I'm getting it that you there's an older female and well, actually I want to say there's an older female on your mom's side of the family, but there's also an older female on your dad's side of the family. Their practicing of or their practice of the psychic abilities was old school. Now, by that I mean, reading tea leaves. By that I mean doing Ouija board. Old school rather than today's kind of practice. So the reason that you're not necessarily feeling unique about what you do or who you are is because you do have a history in your family of practice in this area of life.
Okay.
Now I've got to ask you a question: Who's the C or K? Like, who's Catherine, Karen, Kate? Who's the C or K sounding name?
Could that be alive or dead?
Yeah.
What about Kara?
This person doesn't have to be crossed over. They can be here. They can be there.
What about Kara? You know Kara, don't you?
I met her once at the book reading, I think.
Okay.
No. Okay. Try and sort of there's a CK name that's coming in that I'm supposed to acknowledge. So that's a Catherine, Karen. But if you follow me at all, when I hear names, it doesn't necessarily mean they've crossed over. It means who they are, who's with them, or please say hi to. There's a CK name that now, bearing in mind that we're talking about your personal development, put the CK in and around that. Okay. I also want to say, now you say your son's 7 years old, yeah?
Yeah.
Have you only just just your son? Have you got any other kids?
No, I have a 10-year-old daughter and a 23-year-old daughter.
Wow. So 10, 23, and 7. That's a good distance in between. Okay. I'm very similar. I got a 26 and a 12-year-old. So Yeah, yeah, I'm
As
with you on that front. Now, the 10-year-old, okay, they're the ones that the energies are focused on,
Yeah.
okay? I would say, we have, I mean, I love discussing these kind of things with people because in Ireland we have a lot of old sayings. The Irish, we have a lot of history, and we intermingle our history with life. In Ireland, we say old head, new body. Okay, so is it your daughter who's 10 years old?
Yeah. That's David.
Right. She's what I she is what I would refer to as an old soul.
Okay.
In other words, she's beyond her years and understanding. She understands a lot more than a 10-year-old really should. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Watch her. She's going to exhibit symptoms very, very similar to yourself. Okay. But the energies are around her are just magnificent. Now, if she does decide that she wants to develop, she has huge angels with her. I mean, big, big guys, big angels with her,
Heavy hitters.
which is a great thing, by the way. Big guys,
Yeah.
big angels. I'm seeing big, big energies around her.
That,
How I see angels is I see blue and white mixed, light fluctuating through blue and white. And when I see that, my guides have said, right, when we show you that color, that means angels. So I said, right, yeah, cool. So I'm seeing two of those around your daughter. Okay.
Mhm.
Now,
I know.
I need you to not be so. Now, this is a dumb thing to try and tell a mom what to do, but I don't. I kind of want you to let the reins go a little bit more there. Does that make sense? You're a little bit. You kind of wrap them in cotton wool a bit.
Okay.
Does that make sense to
Yeah.
you?
okay.
Now, which is it yourself or your daughter has the focus on the crystals? Who's really up on the crystals?
Well, I do, and it's been passed on to all of my children now. I have
Well,
I have a goal of
yeah, I would say this when you're dealing with the crystals, which is fantastic, by the way, and it's a good idea to open that option up to your children. Brilliant idea, in fact. I'm a big advocate in letting the kids ask you questions and teaching them properly because I remember having to sit down with my children going, "Do you remember when I told you about there's no such thing as ghosts?" And they're going, "Yeah." Well, we need to talk. Okay, so, but your daughter is capable of handling this. However, that being said, there are one or two crystals in her bedroom I really want you to remove. Okay,
okay.
she she has amethyst in her bedroom.
Yes, he does. Right by her bed, a big chunk.
Yeah, I want you to take that away.
Okay.
How come?
Well, amethyst is kind of like an amplifier for energy. It's kind of like it boosts energy. Okay. And it rockets connection. I never work. I'm going to show it to the camera right there. On every film that you see me where I'm working, look at my hand. That crystal is in my hand. Okay. Now, amethyst rockets and amplifies connections to spirit. Okay, so when you go into a level of sleep called REM, that is where we go as mediums, but we kind of raise our energy up and we go into the era of similar to REM, and that's where spirit come through and so on and so forth. But when you're asleep, you cannot control this. Okay,
Right.
so when you're into that spirit realm energy, and then you have an amplification helping it, you've got no control over it. Okay, so put beside her bed, put maybe some green crystals, put some pink crystals, especially rose quartz. If you
I
can
was
put
gonna
rose
say
quartz by
rose
her,
quartz.
that'll be better. Okay, but it's not to say that you shouldn't have, the amethyst in the house, just not in her bedroom.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Awesome. I got a
And
tinted rose
then just
quartz on
watch how she sleeps better.
somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, that would be amazing. You said there was one more crystal to take out?
Yeah, so take the amethyst out and what else?
Amethyst and citrine, or the yellowy orangey colored one, whatever the yellow orange colored one that's around her. I would just not necessarily have it by her bed. You can have it in her window by all means, but just not by her bed, because what I'm being told is she's got too many frequencies around her head.
Okay.
Crystal gives off frequency. Each crystal gives off an energy in a frequency, and the more intense it is, like amethyst, for example, the frequencies are faster and are like this. So the more that you pull back the higher ranging frequencies, the slower the waves go, and the more she'll sleep. Right?
Okay.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, listen, I'm going to have to let you go because we got a whole bunch of people. And I think you've got a lot of really good information there, Mary Jane.
But you don't forget, just as I'm sharing that with Mary, that everybody else is discovering that because of Mary asking those questions.
Right.
So thank you very much, Mary Jane, for asking.
Yeah. Fabulous. I love you,
Okay.
girl.
I'm going to call to set up a meeting with you.
Oh, good. Very good. Very good. Yeah, he's easy to find. Right there, Paul Francis.
Thank you very much.
.com. All right. Have a wonderful night, Mary Jane. I love you, girl.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All
Miss
right.
you.
Miss you too. Bye.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much for being here.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the first caller. I'm not sure exactly who this one is. The area code is 316, and the first three numbers are 227. So, hello, you're on the air, and thank you for waiting. And who do I have with me?
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm great.
Good. What question would you have for Paul?
I didn't have a specific question. I just wanted to see if he was able to connect to anybody that I had that passed away.
Okay.
Elizabeth, first and foremost, hi. Good to meet you. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for supporting us tonight. Okay. I'm supposed to call you by another name other than Elizabeth.
Yeah, either Liz or Liz.
It's not Elizabeth. I'm supposed to call you by another name. I only called you Elizabeth if you were naughty. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting. Does that make sense to you?
Were you in trouble? Were you called something different when you were in trouble?
I was.
No. She's called something different all as a regular. I'm supposed to shorten your name down to like Beth or Liz, but I'm supposed to shorten your name.
Yeah.
But if I called you Elizabeth, it meant that you were, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get it.
Okay.
All right. So Liz,
All right.
Liz or Lizzie. Yep.
And Elizabeth, I really want to shorten it down to something like Bet or Betty or Bit,
Not
Bit,
that.
but I've got to shorten it down.
Just Liz or Lizzie.
All right. Anyway, where is it that I'm supposed to take you? Where you have the river or the lake? Where the water that's near you?
By me?
Yep.
I'm supposed to take you back to the water. That's what I'm supposed to take you back to, the river, by the lake, the water. But I'm kind of getting the feeling that this is old school. This is a memory. This is bringing me back to someone who's been crossed over for some time. Maybe, I don't know, around maybe 10, 20 years, something like that. I don't know. But I'm getting this feeling of a person who would have taken you maybe to a fishing hole or taken you to the river, taught you how to fish. I don't know, but there's something about bringing you back to the water. I'm supposed to acknowledge.
Hmm.
The only thing that I could see closest with water is that I was born in Colorado Springs, but I never went fishing or anything like that.
Hmm.
Okay, that'll be taking you back to the water.
So, all right.
um,
Is it someone from there then? Or what's the connection with
and
Colorado?
I'm seeing a shield now. They're showing me a shield now. I know in the United States you guys have shields for everything. You know, the firemen will wear a shield, and they, you know, I don't. It's a. I think you guys do a much better job, to be honest with you, than they do here in the UK. Um, you look after your people a lot better than they do over here. But anyway, I'm being shown a shield. So well, that to me it means to me like an emergency services or a military or a police or something, a connection that has of some sort of authority to it. So I'm being shown a shield, and they tell me to talk about the name Joe or John. There's a J-O name I'm supposed to acknowledge. They also want me to talk about the month of November as being significant, or the 11th of a month is being significant as well. Now, someone crosses over, but there's a question mark about their crossing. So either the coroner's report didn't make sense, or they're not sure about why this person crosses, but there's a question mark about a crossing. Do you understand that information?
The question mark about the crossing, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You understand the shield?
So,
I was born when my parents were on the military base. That's all I could think of with that. And my dad was born in November, so
All right.
my dad.
okay.
There you go. So, okay. So you get all the information. That's good.
All right. So,
I'm happy about that.
something about her father's birthday then in November. Something's going to happen maybe in November for her father's birthday?
No, is that in spirit?
No.
No.
No, that's here. Okay. Um, then it's got to be dad's dad that I'm supposed to acknowledge, because I'm talking about dad's side of the family, and November's being significant.
Maybe it will. Maybe Grandpa is coming to the birthday party. Is it going to be a birthday party? I don't know.
This all ties up with
His dad.
no, okay. Let me just stop everything for a second, okay? I kind of get the feeling I've taken some jig pieces and I've just thrown them on the table, okay? Which is cool. So we got to start to move those pieces around to make a picture, alrighty? So it all stems from being taken back to Colorado Springs, going back to there. It starts from there, okay? The whole connection starts from there. So I then was pulled up to the right hand side, which means dad's side of the family. The 11th month is dad's birth month. But there's another reason that November is coming up. It's not your dad's birthday. There's another reason. Alrighty. Your dad's here. Glad to hear it. But there's something about dad's side of the family I'm supposed to acknowledge November with, other than birthday. You're obviously you got the military connection, hence the shield. But wow, I'm kind of at a loss as to, I really expected you to say your dad's in spirit.
No, my dad's alive.
I'm glad to hear it. Trust me,
Yeah.
I really, really am.
Would it be somebody
But
that
there's
you
an energy in
considered like a
spirit
father?
that, yeah, it's a fatherly figure feel to me. It really doesn't feel like grandfather, unless granddad acted like a dad.
Was there
My
someone?
granddad died when I was like 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Was there someone else in your life that you kind of looked up to as
That's a father figure.
father figure?
Not this dead.
Okay.
I need more energy from you, darling. I need you to talk to me quicker. So I need to try and figure this out. So where's the J.O. name? Where's the Joseph John? I don't know, J.O. sounding name.
I have no idea. I don't have a J.
Okay, it's coming in. It's coming in on Dad's side of the family. Okay, I got to bring that through. Now, I want to think one of the other questions I need to ask. Or sorry, not. I would need to put some information across your lap so you can understand where we're going with this. But I'm seeing a connection to Native American stuff going on here. But it's like a name, like for an example, the Apache helicopter or something along those lines. But there's a Native American connection name that I'm supposed to bring up to help you go mentally where we're supposed to go with this.
I don't have anything with that. I'm sorry.
Okay. I think we're doing deer in the headlights here.
Yeah, something's gonna click somewhere.
It's so clear to me what I'm seeing. Okay. So let's go back to the military connection. Is she still there?
Yeah. Are you still with us, Liz?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. It did. It sounded like you hung up.
I need you to connect with me quicker.
Yeah.
So Liz, let's have a look at this here. So your military connection is where?
But mom and my dad were in the military.
Your mom and dad are in the military, right? And so where is the J.O.? Where's the J or G name?
I don't have a J name.
Do they?
I'm sorry? No, I said I don't have a J name.
Yeah, but do your parents have maybe a friend, J-O-J? Maybe someone from the military?
No.
Okay. Every now and again, a medium gets it wrong.
What are you gonna do?
But I can't. I won't deviate. I will not twist and bend and just try and make it fit. There's a J or G name they want me to acknowledge. There's a military connection. There is a connection to Native American stuff because I'm seeing Native American stuff floating all around my mind. I'm seeing specifically the Apache helicopter, hence the name Native American connections. But there's a J or G sounding like Joseph, Joe, John, George, but they want me to acknowledge that name very, very prominently. I'm glad your dad's here, but it pulls me in on his level.
Well,
yeah, if he knew anybody that had a J name when he was in the military in Desert Storm or whatever, I wouldn't know. So I just wouldn't know any of that.
Right.
Well,
I don't know.
Okay, have a look. I kind of want to finish this off, but obviously I'm very limited to time. But I kind of want to carry this on because I do know that you know what the connection is. But what I'm going to do for you right now is before these guys cut us off, is I want you to ask me a question specifically.
A specific question for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything specific to ask. Like, I don't. Just if you have any for me, that would be good. But I don't have any specific questions.
Well, Mary Jane is putting something in the chat room right now. All right. Husband's grandpa was a G name and was a Navy SEAL. I wonder if you're still picking up on Mary Jane.
It can help. It can still happen.
Yeah.
Because they pull back from me. They don't go away. They just pull back and let me go. So I try to get on and help, especially somebody with like Liz.
Yeah.
But I kind of get the feeling of Liz has also a connection with someone that I've dealt with earlier.
Okay.
So there's a connection in there with either whether when I was doing a reading for one of the previous callers, Elizabeth is going, okay, I can connect to that.
Excuse me.
There's something along those lines I've got to bring up.
Well, Liz, I'm going to say thank you for calling in, and then maybe you can hook up with Paul at some point and try to figure this out, because obviously something is coming through, and it's got to click somewhere. So I do appreciate you calling in, though.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
You guys have a good day. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, that stuff happens, and I do think that since Mary Jane put that up there, and I do know that the energy that comes from that family is really powerful. So I would
Yeah.
definitely say that's a holdover from Mary Jane. Mama D, you said that there was someone with the 310 area
Yes,
code.
310 is Justin.
All right.
Hello.
Hi, Justin. Welcome.
Hi, Gina, Mama D, and Paul. Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Hi, Justin.
Hey, Justin.
So what's your
Hey, Justin. It's good to meet you.
Sorry.
question for Paul?
I'm an artist, and as well as kind of an inventor, and I've been trying a couple of times to have creations created, and I feel like I keep losing everything I do. Everything is just falling through my hands. I feel like it's just all taken away. Every time it starts to go, it's taken away. It's like all my dreams are taken away in a sense. And I've been an artist for
Okay.
almost 30 years, doing my best, but something isn't giving me success. And I tried. I have been trying. I've traveled the world and done as much as I possibly can.
Okay. Your answer is right in front of you, my friend. Um, you're a victim of your own success, and I mean that in every sense. You have so many successes. You've got so many wonderful creations and wonderful developments that you're almost a victim of your own success. Now, I got to ask you quite a simple question, Justin.
Yes.
You what is the highlight and the most memorable, successful um, scenario you've dealt with over the last, I don't know, 20, 30 years?
Um, I guess just being able to travel, do my artwork around the world in a few places, but I ended up getting sent back to Los Angeles, and I'm about to move. So I'm hoping that this next venture will allow me to take care of some debt and clear my head and to
There you
reconnect.
go.
I've been going through a lot mentally and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, brother. You're answering the question yourself. All I've just done is open the floodgates. What's happening is you're so focused on the things that have went wrong that you're not actually appreciating everything that's gone right. Okay, there is absolutely no way on this planet you would have been able to get around the world and deal with all these fantastic connections and scenarios unless you were good enough to be able to do it. But what you're focused on is maybe the half a dozen times that it's not gone according to plan. You're so focused on those that you're putting them in front of you as speed bumps. We call them speed bumps over here. You know, little things in the road that are designed to slow cars down. So, one of the things that I want to say to you, Justin, is this: there isn't a problem until there's a problem. Okay. So what that means is there isn't any problems ahead of you until there's a problem. But what you're trying to do at the moment is you're trying to put the problems ahead of you in advance because you think, well, the last time I did this, this happened. The last time I did that, that happened. But they haven't actually happened. You're creating a situation that doesn't actually exist. What you need to be understanding is we're taken to a specific place at the right time. There's a thing that I have learned through my 30 years of working in this business. Trust me,
Yeah.
I've been to the top. I have been to the very, very top. I've been on, working with people like Bono and U2, and I've been working with people like that, and I've been to the top.
Yeah.
And that was my career in the music business. And I remember walking in London thinking to myself, this is not what I want to do. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. But what I realized was I let go of what I was trying to do for other people and decided to do what I wanted to do for myself to make my life worth something. I kind of get the feeling you're in the same boat.
very much.
Then, then I need you to do me a favor. I need you to trust me here. What I'm about to tell you, okay?
Yeah.
You didn't let there's. I'm getting an energy around you who's giving me the impression that you feel you've let them down. You feel that you haven't been a success and you've let this person down. So I don't know. This is a father, grandfather, mother. I don't know, but there's an older energy to you around you, who who is trying to tell you, listen, we are so proud. They wouldn't necessarily have told you they were proud while they were here. They weren't that kind of person. They weren't kind of touchy feely, huggy kind of a person. But
Yeah.
they're very, very. I'm getting elated that going, oh my God, no, he needs to understand that we're so proud of what he's achieved. But because he's not necessarily hit the levels that he wants to hit, he feels that he's letting us down. That is not the case. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So your achievements, every single achievement you have managed to do, every beautiful piece of artwork, every connection that has brought you on to the next step is an achievement, whether you see it or not. It's an achievement, but you're so focused on not being what you would call successful in someone else's eyes. That's not important. It's the success in your eyes that's important, and you need to understand that they're backing you. I don't know if Dad is around you. I don't know, but there's around you as well, who's giving me he's hiding something from me because he shields his eyes. In other words, he's not going to tell me everything. Now that tells me that this kind of I would refer to this as a private one-to-one. In other words, there is information that spirit will share with me, but it wouldn't be in this kind of scenario. It wouldn't be something that would be broadcast over the world, but you need
Uh-huh.
to understand that they're they aren't the judgmental person they were when they were here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, they're not judging you. Then you need to let that go. Hopefully, that's the golden key to let you get on and be the success that you have literally ahead of you. But I need you to stop jumping from left to right, front to back, right to left, back to front. I need you to focus on what it is you actually want and go after it.
Yeah. I had been doing that for a while. I played music for a while. I did piercing for a little while. I did little things for a little while, and I finally realized
Yeah.
that my main goal is I'm a professional tattoo artist, so I'm mainly sticking with that, and I paint and keep to my digital stuff as well,
Yeah.
art space. I feel that I should master that instead of trying to go with the other things. I'm putting my hands in too many places, but although the things
Yeah.
are related to my job.
Yeah. As Justin, it's that's why I had to start off my session with you to say I got to the top. I was standing in London and it hit me like a wave. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm standing in the BBC studios in London with you too. So then I had to go back to my family and go, this is not what I'm supposed to do. This is not it. And they're like looking at me going, have you lost your mind? You are now at the top. Have you lost your mind? What is going on? And I'm going, listen, I can go and do this and I can be up there and I've made the connection. I'm right at the top, but I'm not going to enjoy this. This is not what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
I was very, very lucky, and my family said, well, you know what? Whatever makes you happy, we'll be with you 100%. So I need to I needed to share that story with you to give you that reassurance to say go after what you love and you will be successful because you never actually have to work at success when you do something you love. It comes automatically.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
hope
Especially since
But I need
creating the art
I
thing
need
fun.
no I need you to let go. I really, really, really do need you to let go of the things that didn't necessarily happen the way they're supposed to happen. But I also say that within every negative there is a lesson. Extrapolate the lesson, and that will help you move forward again. Okay. But trust me,
Yeah.
you're right on the cusp of success. You're right there. Keep focused on it and keep going where you need to go. Okay. Justin, I'm telling you, if I want, not if, when I meet you in the United States and you come to one of my tours, um, we're we're going to be talking about the success you had, not the failure. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I just gotta say one thing here because I see this thing go back and forth in the chat room here. All right, Peg, Nick, call the number. See the number right here, right below my finger. Call the number. Then you'll be in the queue. Then we can put you through. That's what that means. so,
Right.
so
Because she
just
put her numbers up before, but it's not
yeah,
in queue.
but they're not. Yeah, they're
Try
not.
again, darling.
Yeah, they're not on the. They're not in the call. Not in my queue, and that I can put through. You have to actually
Sure.
call
I
the
saw
show.
that you mentioned about having stones and things like crystals above your bed, and
Yeah.
I have had a large chunk of citrine above my bed for the past couple of years, and I am quite the restless sleeper. I don't know, it kind of like caught my ear, caught something to me.
See,
Justin, also something I want to say to you as well. It's something that happened to be practiced a lot in the late 80s and early 90s, but doesn't seem to be practiced anymore. And it's actually real. Have you ever heard of feng shui?
Yes,
Well, I need you to have a wee look at feng shui. Okay. I need you also. What I need you to do is I need you to release. So there in my household, you see, I'm Irish. Okay, so I can
no,
get away with being cheeky. I can be really cheeky and get away with it. And I say to my lady, I say to her, right, okay, look, we need to do some clearing out here. I need you to put your clothing, your closet into categories. And she goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, the category that you buy that you're going to wear once and you're not going to wear again. You buy and you're going to wear periodically." And then I say to her, "And there's the I have a dream section." And she goes, "What the hell do you mean I have a dream section? Those pants that you have that you'll never get into again, ever? I call those I have a dream section. So either
all the
take them
closets
all out
have a dream
and
section.
give them.
If you
Oh,
don't
hey,
see
yeah,
you
Paul
know,
again, it's
people
because
can
Joanna killed him.
Well, I have one of those dressers that shrink my clothes. Those ones.
well,
I hate them.
I call them. I have a dream set. Well, with just I've got to get the feeling of you've got something. You've got a similar scenario, not necessarily with clothing, but I kind of get the feeling of when you go into your room, your house, whatever it is that we're talking about here. But I kind of get the feeling you know what I'm talking about, and you gather all the
yeah,
components that you really don't need, and you really don't. You can do without, then take those components and give them to people because the giving energy in itself is magnificent. Something of yourself to another person, it enhances their life. That in turn creates what I call positive karma. Now, when you do that, you have to practice something called energy clearing and balancing. Now, people look at me, and when I say that to them, they look at me like I got four heads. Going what? So when I break down and I say to them, look, what happens is you energy and you dump it in your house, okay, and you literally continue to do that.
yeah,
So if you've had a great day at work, you come home with that great energy, you dump it in your house. But most people come home from work have not had necessarily had a good or bad day, but they're knackered, they're tired, and they dump that energy. So what we need to do is we not only just need to do a spring clean in our home where we clean the dust down, but you need to do an energy spring clean as well. And I'm talking not necessarily just adjusting, I'm talking about everybody. So when you do a clear out of your closet and you take all of the clothing out of your closet that you no longer need and you give it to a charity, You then spring clean. You're creating space within your home for better energy. And I kind of get the feeling that's what we need to do with Justin. And buddy, I really want to imprint upon you how
Urgent.
good your energy ahead, your strength ahead, your gateway ahead. It's there's no negatives there. I don't see any negatives around you. The only negatives I do see is that you kind of you've got a little bit of a thing where you hold on to the things that didn't go well. Let them go. Just let them go.
Awesome, awesome. All right, I'm going to have to
Well,
let
some of
you
those are
go.
quite expensive.
But I'm in that boat. I'm in that boat. I got a lot of designer shit around my house, and I'm telling you, I'm going to let it go. I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Same
let it
here.
go.
mention that I put out to a person. I put near $10,000 to, and it's been 4 years, and I have not received but 4 items to the 30 items that I was supposed to receive. I feel like this person is just pulling my chain and jerking me around for all this time, and I keep
Yeah.
being so nice and working with them, but I feel like I'm just being pooped on, you know?
Yeah, sounds like it. You know,
I can completely understand where you're going with that, but trust me, buddy. Don't focus on what's going wrong. Focus on what's going right, and you know, and the less energy. Here's the way it works, okay? Although I'm holding Justin on the line, but I am helping everybody. The more energy you give to
Yeah,
negativity, the longer it stays around. It's as simple as that.
yeah,
Energy you give to a negative scenario, person, or situation, the longer it stays around. If you remove it, it fizzles away. It disappears.
yeah.
does that make sense to you?
Yeah, as you might say as possible, positive as possible, always. That's what
That's
a
the
lot of
one.
people say. I'm really surprised out
Positivity.
of a lot of things you go through, you stay positive.
Yep.
But yeah, it's the only way
Yeah.
to do it.
Keep your mind
That's
focused
that's that's in his
on your
book too.
strengths.
That's in his book too. Just saying. There's a whole chapter on positivity.
Yeah,
Positive energy attracts positive energy. Positive, a smile, universal language.
yeah,
So, um, greet your enemies with a smile, and it will soften the little rough edges a little bit. But there's a point when you have to cut it.
yeah,
I want to use a quick analogy. I was in a store a few days ago, and there was a guy. He was in a really grumpy mood, and he was properly grumpy, bashing his shopping trolley into people, and and then he came right up to me, and I looked at him straight in the eye, and I said, "I'm the guy you mistreated in the other aisle." And he went, well, and he goes, and he's kind of like what I call a part-time police officer kind of a thing. And I said to him, let me just tell you something. See if you stand here long enough. He goes, yeah. I said, there might be somebody who comes along who actually gives a shit. I said, but I don't. And he went, excuse me? I said, if you wait here long enough, somebody might come along who gives a shit. Okay. And my two daughters, as I turned around to talk to them, they disappeared. They were going, "Oh my God, Dad's on one." You
Here it
know?
goes.
And I said to the guy, I said, "We are our world at the minute is in an extreme flux. We don't need assholes to add to it."
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you stand there and you wait there until somebody comes along who gives a shit. But I'll guarantee you this, pal, you'll be standing there a long, long time. And I just turned around and I carried on with my shopping. And weirdly enough, he kept avoiding me throughout the store.
All
But
right. Well,
my point being here
we're
is,
running down on our time here for the actual.
oh my gosh,
And
okay,
I
okay.
do want to.
Well, just listen. Good luck to you, buddy. You'll be fine.
thank you. Thank
All
you.
right.
Lots of love and light to all three of you.
All
Good
right.
luck. We'll see you.
Good luck, my
Thanks,
friend.
Thank
Justin.
you, Justin. Have a good night.
If
All right.
How much time we got left?
We have 6, 7 minutes. Peg, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
All right. Peg, this is Paul. Peg. She owns a a wonderful haunted location that we do events at. So I wanted to put her through.
Okay.
Yeah, the Knickerbocker.
Oh, my favorite beer.
Ah. So what's your question for Paul, Peg? And we only have like 6 minutes left to the actual radio show, but I think Paul might stay a little bit longer on the Facebook Live with us.
I might do. It's only 2 a.m. here.
That's fine.
All right, we only have a few minutes left, like for the actual radio show. But we are live on Facebook. That can go on, a little bit longer. So, but the actual radio show itself is counting down. So, what is your question that you might have for Paul?
Okay. I wanted to know if doing like a remote reading like he's doing, and he's hearing just my voice and stuff, can he indicate to me why I'm having like all of these sleep disorders that nobody can define? But when they finally did a sleep test on me, they said that my REM sleep, usually people have like a 20-minute. So they say I have a 5-minute, and it is unbelievably active. They asked me, where did I go, or what did I dream in those 5 minutes that made their reading go crazy?
Okay.
Can you explain, hearing just my voice and being a person that has insight, can you explain to me what you feel that's about?
Well, yeah, okay. Well, first and foremost, we have two levels of consciousness. We have our conscious and subconscious, and they work simultaneously. Your conscious and your subconscious work together when you're asleep, okay? And you have 3 levels of sleep. You have alpha, beta, and theta. Alpha is here now that we're discussing. You're in alpha. Beta is in that place where we daydream. And theta is in the place where we move into REM sleep, okay? Now, with yourself, and I can tell by just your voice, is you're very curious. You've got a very curious mind. You kind of like ever since you were a little girl, you kind of want to know the ins and outs. You got to figure out how a watch works. You couldn't just accept the watch for working and telling you time. You got to know. Hey, hang on a second. How does it tell the time? So your mind is going 900 miles an hour all the time. Okay. So your curiosity connected to your subconscious is just going bam, 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 bam. And that's what's creating a very, very high level REM. However, that being said, I'm also being told about the energy around about where you live. You either live close to energy pylons, you live close to an intersection where there's high energy, or either you live very, very close to what we refer to as ley lines, but there's a high level energy around you that I'm supposed to acknowledge as well.
Okay, and how would I find the ley line that I'm living on?
Oh, you can Google ley lines, and they will show you. Do you live near energy pylons? Are there energy pylons by you?
There's that water thing, the spillway.
Well,
What's that?
we have water right next to where I live. We have a creek that runs all the way over into a waterway. It's about probably,
Okay.
I'd say, a football field away from me.
Yeah, that's crazy energy.
Okay, well,
Lots of fish.
well, you're gonna have massive energy there, and the energy that's created by that you'll absorb, and it'll connect with you. However, that being said, with me personally, water is the opposite. Works it in the complete opposite to me. Water brings me right down. I get really, I can lie by a river and fall asleep straight away. So water works in the opposite way to me.
Rushing.
So, but
you should see it. It's
but with yourself,
a circle and all the fish flying through there.
all right.
It's
There's
powerful.
a massive energy that's, but on the other side of the coin as well is your.
I'll tell you, after I had my sleep study done, because I hardly sleep, and Gina can attest to this. I hardly sleep. I go out for a few minutes, I'm right back up, and I have energy. But one of the things they said was, through my sleep study, was that they could not find anything except that part of my REM sleep being so short. But yet they said absolutely no brain malfunctions or anything like that. They said the only thing that we can tell you is don't sleep on your back. That was the only thing they could find.
So no,
That's weird.
Okay, let me quickly get onto that because
90 seconds.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can monitor sleep properly. I genuinely don't, because if you know that you're being monitored, then you're not. Then your conscious and subconscious know that you're being monitored and react accordingly. So I genuinely don't believe, and I don't believe psychic ability can be tested. Okay, because psychics, mediums will tell you they're gonna have a good day, they're gonna have a bad day.
Because I don't sleep. 60 seconds.
Okay.
But she's in a very haunted location.
Okay.
But for the
She's in a very
end, I want to thank everybody that's listening to the actual radio show, and join us again next week. We'll be back with Sheila Price, and we're going to be talking about dream paralysis. All right, dream paralysis. So how is that? But now Paul, continue with Peg. But Peg does
I'm
a lot of energy in that house, and she is high strung.
Right.
And I mean, she takes care of this whole hotel by herself. You know what I mean? Like changing all the rooms, and she has stuff like I have stuff. Like you see my stuff, right? She's got stuff in rooms, and she will change it all around, and she's like constantly going. And I don't know if that is the spirits in the house that
10 seconds
are feeding her or whatnot. I don't really know. But she's go.
If you're running, if you're connected to hospitality, your mind never stops. It's gone. What's coming next? What's coming next? Have I prepared for? Have I prepared? It's all about preparation and thinking ahead. That's why you're not able to sleep properly, and you're not able to get into a proper REM sleep. Having worked in that field, in that industry, it's all about the preparation, being ahead of the game. And once that becomes a habit, which it has clearly become with you, that's why you're not entering into a proper REM sleep. As for sleeping in your back, I think that's rubbish. I think that's no. You sleep where you're comfortable.
That's the medical profession for you.
I know that's so strange. That is the strangest thing I've ever heard, Peg. Honest to God, I don't know why they would say that. I don't know.
Well, that's how it was ordered, because they noticed that in my pressure, in my blood pressure, my top is just fine, but my bottom always runs between 89 and 90. And they said that usually means that you have sleep apnea. And I said, well, I don't feel like that. And then they put me through a sleep study. And then they said the only thing they found was this odd thing about my REM sleep. And other than that, they said don't sleep on my back.
Well, has someone been trying?
No, I think it's I genuinely don't believe that. You sleep where you're comfortable. I sleep in the recovery position. Where you put a patient in a recovery position. That's how I sleep. So I'm comfortable. If you put me on a train, I will go into the deepest REM sleep you've ever heard, because the movement. Oh, you put me on a train, that's off I go. But my whole life started, my whole career in coming from being a boy into being a man in college and university and all that. It was in the catering business. I'm a trained chef, and I remember that the whole of your life is all based upon preparation. You have to, have I ordered in, have I done this, have I done that? And you're constantly going, have I, must make sure. So you're doing that all the time. So you never actually go, stop. So that's why. But you're also, one of the energies that are connected with your voice and with my guides is the area that you're in is so powerful and so buzzing with energy. That's just playing a part of it as well.
I think that's it. I really do. I think it's the hotel. You know what I mean? It's not like a hotel that people come into all the time. Paranormal people will go in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's not. So it's not like an everyday.
No, it's not open to. Yeah, it's not open to general public, and it's not the Knickerbocker in Los Angeles. This is named after my husband's name because his family was born and raised in this area. So that's my name's Knickerbocker
Gotcha.
now. So that's why we named it the Knickerbocker. But I've owned it since 1993. My first entrance into it was in '78, and my whole life from '78 till now, I've gotten this place back and forth through many different things. But it seems like this place was always meant to be where I'm supposed to be.
Absolutely.
But then this
Yeah.
pattern of my life has been like involved in the privacy of like-minded people. So when I couldn't sleep, and they, you just go for a doctor's appointment, they go, well, these are all patterns of people that have disorders and sleep disorders. And they could not find any sleep disorders. All they made a very large comment was, when you go to a REM sleep, after you go through different types of sleep, yours is like a 5 minute, and it is extraordinary. And the people that were watching me all night, when they came in the morning, they said, where did you go in your sleep? Because you must have had one hell of a dream, because it was so active, which is different than people's normal REM sleep. And it was like a 5 minute, and then I was back. And I do have
So what if
unbelievable dreams.
what if she's like astral projecting or something? Would that?
No, you're. If she was astral projecting, everything would slow right down.
Okay.
I mean, literally right down.
Okay.
Now, if you're telling me that her property is, I mean, obviously, Gina, but actually, oddly enough, you have a lot more experience in the field of paranormal investigations than I have.
Yep.
But if her property is properly haunted, what could have happened is the people who were doing the study could have picked up on an energy, and not necessarily her energy,
Well,
because
what I think is
energy works really fast.
Yeah, because I know for a fact that a spirit can contact us definitely in our REM sleep. Because then we
And REM
close
sleep,
all that our day to day out, and that's when you're most open to it. So if you're getting messages, she could be getting bombarded by everybody in the house at that point, and then it could be too much, and it's just like, all right, poof, let me go.
But it's like this, right? Okay, I mean, I'm looking at a screen with 3 pictures on it. Okay, Gina, myself, and Mohammed. Now, we know we're conscious that there's a camera on us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Each one of us.
Mm-hmm.
So all 3 of us are trying to look good. We got our, we're dressed. We had a shave and blah 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 blah.
I didn't shave.
But my point being here is we're conscious that we are being filmed. Okay. So that is why I don't believe you can do a proper study of sleep when you're consciously known you're being studied.
But no,
so because your consciousness here.
I understand what you're saying. You're saying the scientific end of it, and you can't really, do that, and because you know what's going on. But her sleep is disrupted, and I think why her sleep is disrupted is because during her REM sleep, those spirits are, the ones that she's not paying attention to during the day, are all trying to get her attention then, because she's such a kind-hearted, warm, open, loving soul. She loves the building. She loves the people that are in the building, the spirits, they love her. And I'm sure they're all wanting to talk to her all the time, and that would be the optimal time. But you, Peg, got to tell them to leave you alone while you're sleeping. You got to take.
Well, get your guides to do it. You need to. But the other side of the coin is literally give yourself a break. Literally, once we have, I don't know what it's like in the United States right now, but over here we're very close to martial law. We're very close. But as soon as all of this disappears, and it will disappear as quickly as it arrived, trust me. Get out and give yourself a holiday. Or what you guys call a vacation. And I was all the way down the line. I was being told to tell her to go home. Now, not where you live. Go home.
With your sister, maybe.
Right. Let me just put it this way. I live in a beautiful part of the world. I live in Cornwall, but I still go home to Ireland.
So where's home? Where's home, Peg?
I lived here for longer than I lived where I was born. I was born in Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
I only lived there for 25 years, and then I've lived here through the rest of the. I'm 68 now, so I've lived here longer than I lived in Ohio. So this would
Same for me. I've lived here longer than I lived in Ireland, but I still go home. So I'm being told to tell you to go home. Wherever the country, the ranch is, wherever that was, I don't know. But I'm seeing like, South Fork kind of concept here. So wherever the ranch is, the Colorado Springs kind of, I don't know. I'm just, these are just words that are coming out, but it's kind of like give yourself a break from the hotel and go home.
You can come here, Peg. You and Ruth come here and visit.
I love where you're living.
Go to Canada.
Love it. It's like I just
Not in
love
the winter.
what you're doing with it. Do you think I should go visit my father's grave in Ohio and talk to my father?
Ooh, that could be.
Well, yes, visit his grave by all means, absolutely. But you don't have to go to his grave to talk to him. You just have to sit back in your
I
chair,
know that.
close your eyes, and talk to him.
He told me before he died. Here's what he told me. He said, "My grave will be my permanent address while you're still alive. If you ever need to talk to me, that's where you call me, and I'll come to that address." He said, "But as soon as I die, I'm not going to be on this plane anymore. I will be in the plane I want."
Correct.
And my father said, "So don't go grieving about anything, because I will be where I want to be." And he did what he wanted to do all the time. And seen here around me by other people. And he told me before he died, he said, "I'll see you at the Nick." He did not say I would see him at the Nick. And people have witnessed him around me. And so if I want to talk to him, he said to go to his gravesite, because that will be his permanent address until I die. And he says that's how you'll contact.
Okay.
Can I put in my 2 cents?
If you think about the words there for a second, if you think about the words, what do we normally have an address? We don't say I'm going to go to my address. We say I'm going to go
home.
Home.
And home is where the heart is. Your father is your heart.
And so there you go. And when I go back to Ireland, I really do mean, I really do genuinely believe that message was from your dad to you to say you need a break. Okay. Well, when I go to Ireland, I will go and visit my parents' graves. I will go and sit there and I will just contemplate, and I'll sit and I'll talk to them. And when you go to a gravesite, and it's amazing. When you go into a graveyard, it's like when you walk through the gates, the world stays outside. When you go into and you sit down by a loved one's gravesite, it's just, there's a peace and tranquility by a gravesite that's not available anywhere else on the planet.
Agreed.
Yeah. One of the things I believe about the graveyards is that the grieving that went to the gravesite leave their grief there because of the one they missed and they loved. And they don't understand that's my dad said there's a lot of beautiful people in coffins dressed up with nowhere to go. He said they already went where they wanted to go. He said when they died where they died, they went to where they wanted to go. And he always instilled that in me. He never told me any negative things about dying. He said, when you're born, it's the beginning of the experience you're going to go through. When you die, it's going to be the gift that will show you why you went through that experience.
Your dad was clearly very, very wise.
Yeah. I think he passed the buck on to you.
Can I ask Peg's dad's name, please?
Mama wants to
know. What do you want?
What was
your dad's name?
Oh, Billy. William born, Billy as a kid, and Bill in his elder age. He went by the 3.
Okay.
William Bill.
Okay.
Well, I would try that tonight. before you go to bed, though, Peg, tell them to leave you alone while you're sleeping. Say that, when
Yeah.
you set a
Ask Dad to keep them at
time,
bay.
set a time. Say, okay, if you really
Exactly.
talk to me, I will talk to you
I,
at
I,
2.
I agree. I agree 100% with Mom and Angel. Just say to Dad, say, "Hey, Dad, do me a favor. Could you keep these guys back from me? Just for I need to sleep. I need a rest."
Yeah,
And say to Dad, "Hey, Dad, you see, when I'm going to do a paranormal investigation, if I'm going to go somewhere, I have absolutely zero fear. I have no fear at all. People go to me, how can you walk into that place and you're not going? It's just a place." But I know my mom and dad are beside me. I know that they're not going to they wouldn't allow anything to harm me while they were here. So they're definitely not going to let it do it while they're on the other side of life. So when I just say to Dad was clearly very, very wise, and say, "Dad, I'm so tired. I really need a good sleep. Can you just keep these guys back from me just for a couple of nights
yeah,
and
yeah,
enjoy?" I
yeah.
agree totally with Mama there on that.
So do that. Do that. Do that.
And how do I find the ley line that you believe I'm existing on? Do I do a longitude, latitude study and then find out if that's a ley line that's important in the world?
Well, there is a little line
Right,
now.
you can do ley line studies about where you live. You just have to Google it. Literally, just Google ley lines at my address. Just say when you Google search and go ley lines where I live, and up will
And
come a map
how do ley
showing.
lines affect persons?
Well, that's it. That's like
Oh
this
my gosh,
pathway. That's where all the energy travels from around the world.
yeah.
So if there's a ley line going right through the neck,
I would hazard a guess to say there's a ley line or even a crossroads sort of ley line at your hotel
When I
because the energy I'm picking up is massive.
1978, and I was spoken to when I came in. I heard a voice very clearly say, "Peggy, help me," in a whisper when I came in here, and I was on the path of wanting to always own this and help it. Do you believe that at that point I was recognized by whatever was here?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I think things are meant to be. You almost didn't have that place for a long time, and then you got it back, and I mean, it's meant to be. You're meant to be there. You are definitely meant to be there.
I have a
I couldn't see anybody else doing what you do in
I
that.
have a belief that when somebody who owns a property that's haunted, that has people in it, for lack of a better word, spirit,
Yeah.
you here's my thing, is you don't own that house. You are a guardian of that house and all the spirits
Yeah,
that are in it. Everybody who comes through it is a spirit. You are there to help them. And they called you to the house.
I like
You
that.
said you heard the name. You heard your name called. So you were drawn to it to be the guardian of the house and everybody that's in it.
right. Totally.
Who died in the fire, by the way, before we let you go? Who died in the fire, or where's the fire thing that's going on that I'm picking up?
My husband's grandmother was killed in a fire. She burned up in the fire, rescuing her grandchildren out of the house that she was babysitting her daughter's children, and they got a hold of matches and they started a fire, and she died in the fire. And recently, about I'd say 5 or 6 years ago, my husband on the farm where the foundation was, he found a small Cupid doll from the time frame way back when they owned the farm, and he cleaned it and everything, and he brought it to me to have here because he felt that was something that I should have, because I do rescue a lot of items that people think or feel have entity in them, and I cleanse them and keep them and honor them and love them for the reason that I feel that people love those items one time in their life, and maybe that's just the energy people don't understand. And that was
Okay.
my husband's grand.
All right. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Uh-oh.
Whatever news you want to give me.
Okay. Right.
Start with the good.
When you well, it's kind of like it's all good really. it really is kind of all good because you do things for the right reasons. You don't do things to be famous. You don't do things for to get gain. You do for the right reasons. But at the same time, when you bring items into your home that have a significant connection, and this is the best way to describe what's happening. It's kind of like you bring in a transistor radio that's on. So you got the radio playing when you're outside and it's like cool and you're walking in and the radio's playing tunes, and then you put the radio down in your house, but it's continuing to play. But then you go out and you get another radio and you bring it back in and you put it down. Now it's playing with the first one, but not necessarily on the same station. And then all of a sudden you have 23, 30, 40, 60 radios all playing different stations in your home. Now, in that, it creates massive energy. And you wonder why you can't sleep.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
So if you imagine every item you bring into your home, it's a radio that's playing its own specific station.
Okay.
So, yeah,
How that place is set
this
up.
could be a possibility of a thought that you're saying. But then, if I were a child and I had 50 dolls in my love of my dolls, it would not be that they were all radios. They would all be getting different love interests of my being. I love.
Oh no, that's completely different. No, that's different.
Other things that happen.
If these items were all yours, they have your energy.
But Gina's person that she's with brought a clown here that nobody wanted, and they instantly when they gave it to me, saw it completely change from being anything negative to where they saw it smile. And they said, Peg, this was meant to be here. And one of the things I do is I cleanse them, and I put I put crystals by them so that their energy isn't bad energy, and I respect them, and I ask them to respect me.
Yeah. But Paul, how this place is set up is each room, like up on the top floor, where most of the activity is. Each floor is set up differently. Like there's a Abe Lincoln room and the wedding room and the Asian room and World War II or whatever, soldier room and doll room and all these different rooms with some pretty crazy stuff.
I honored every 10 years of the building's history. I set a room to honor each 10 years of an era of the building's history that it's lived through. Because I felt that the people that built this in 1880, they went through the death of their president, Lincoln. They all fought in Antietam in the Civil War. They had their own kinds of entity that they left here because they experienced during the time frame of their ownership the sinking of the Titanic, World War I, World War II, Korean conflict. The space, to the moon. All those experiences were experienced by everybody that ever owned this or came here. They talked about things. So I honored every 10 years of the era of the building with real history and real pieces of history in those rooms to honor the spirit that must have been left here. So they would feel
Paul, you would love this place if you went in there.
Finding their era.
Well, I hope that when the time comes that I do get to do the tour in the United States that I can swing by. But as I said to you at the beginning of this conversation, there is no negativity really in the fact that you do everything for the right reason. Okay. So you're doing everything for the right reason. You do a cleanse with the object and so on and so forth. But when you do a cleanse with the object and you put crystals by them, you do everything right. You still got to remember that you're doing everything for the right reason. However, you energize that particular item. Okay. I still think the best analogy is to say you have that individual radio playing its own radio station. Now, you have your doll room, and each one of those dolls were yours when you were a child, and so on and so forth. Your energy is imprinted on those dolls. That means that all of those dolls are playing your radio station. Okay. But all of the other items you got
They
coming in, they're all playing their own
they
radio
would come from
stations.
other people. They're playing that person's radio station,
Yes, that's what
right?
he's saying.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
So
my dolls that I would have would only be interacting with what I gave them and energized them with. But when I
there
receive
you go.
that are not from things that I lived through, I'm allowing that entity to be its own entity, and it's interacting
Yeah.
with the other ones. So that's why it would happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, that
Yeah, exactly.
talking about that the clown doll, that's Justine Rose.
Yeah.
There's a woman that attached to that. There's a whole long story about that. It's really crazy. A woman passed away in a nursing home, and that was her favorite thing. So her essence went into that doll.
Her energy, her essence will be there. Yeah.
They sold it at a flea market like thing, after she passed away. A woman bought it,
Mm.
knew Bob, what he did, my Bob, right, being a paranormal investigator, called him up and said, there's something going on in my house. She's hearing footsteps running up and down her stairs, and she's hearing like popping, banging, like guns and stuff like that. And she's like, I don't know what the hell. And Bob said to her, well, did you get something new? Is something new in the house? And she said, well, I got this clown doll. And it's a weird looking clown doll, let me tell you. And it's like she got this clown doll. He goes, well, take it out of the house. So she took it out of the house.
Yeah.
She put it in the garage. It stopped, right? So she
Yeah.
said, okay, it stopped. Come get this thing. So he did. He went and he got it. Him and his partner at the time, they tried to bind it. They tried to do all this stuff. Nothing worked. John Zappas got involved. He was like, take it to the museum. We'll bind it up. But then Peggy wanted it. For whatever reason, that was the place for it should have been. Yep. But we found the whole history. It was Justine Rose was the woman's name, everything, and it really attached to Bob. So anytime we go to the Knickerbocker, that doll will talk to Bob. Recognizes Bob first.
Yeah.
He can put his domes out that he makes, that they blink lights, say, light this one for yes, light that one for no. And damn if that doll doesn't have a conversation with Bob. He's like the only one,
Mm-hmm.
He won't do it with me.
And the Asian
Bob brought him home to mom.
that you had the experience with.
The Asian doll that she has there. This is another crazy story. All right, there's in her Asian room. All right, now you got to think of way back when the Asian women, they were all abused basically. What was an Asian woman used for? To be abused, sexual, whatever. Right. So here's this doll. We're filming it. I'm filming it with a clear camera, so it's thermal.
Yeah.
We're watching it, and I got one of our guests is with us, and he's looking at it and goes, do those eyes look like they're getting wider? And I'm looking, I'm going, wow, they really do. And it's like the eyes went from being very slits, to wide. And I'm thinking, and it came to me, I'm like, did you want to be more Americanized? Is that what the issue was? Are you trying to look more American than Asian? Do you think that's going to solve your problem? Now we left.
Yeah.
I have that video. I think I showed it to you, Peg. And while we were gone, in between we went back again. Another team went in there. That doll got broken. That team refused to admit it, right? But the face got broken. So they refused even to pay for it. So poor Peg had to pay for it. And the restoration was like, what, $400 or more? Porcelain. Yeah, very expensive. But when it came back, the eyes were rounder. And I said,
Oh, wow.
I'm looking at the doll, and I actually took the footage of it. And I asked him, like, did you do this on purpose? I'm like, did you break your face on purpose so that you could actually be more, look more Americanized, And it really does. The doll, has a lot rounder eyes, but before they were very Asian,
Wow.
So, I know it's crazy. That whole place is like the energy's in there, the spirits that are in there. They're all good too. Lorraine Warren was there, and someone said something about something negative. She's like, "Oh no," she shut him right down. "Oh, there is absolutely nothing negative here." right. And she, it made you that clip too, didn't I? Peg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
No, she said everything here is good. She said your place is filled with ghosts and spirits. And she says, Peg, you just have to take more pictures. They want to be seen. And she usually says, no, we've got to get rid of things. Oh, no, it's got to go to the other side. Oh, discernment. When she walked in here, she was like, wow, this place is amazing. And she loved it when she spent the night here with us. And she talked about it at different lectures about things here.
yeah.
It's a different.
Sounds like an amazing place.
It's
It
really
really is.
not evil, ugly, nasty. I mean,
No.
I don't let general public come in and leave their little like problems. I just, I only am very, very particular who gets to come and who gets to be here and who I share this place with.
Thank you for doing that with us.
Yeah.
Those
You know
excursions.
it's true. You just know it's true.
We do. We take people there, and people that we know the people, so we know that they're going to be respectful of the property and everything too, and all her things and her belongings. And again, respect. Respect is the key word. But we are like way over. I don't even know what time it is.
30 minutes over.
With 30 minutes over. I'm sorry, Paul. It's like 2:30 in the morning.
We're going to give him a little pillow.
Yeah.
So I'm going
to. I'll sleep shortly. But
I can't travel now because of the coronavirus thing. But as soon as they release us from being in our homes and stuff, because that's how it is over here right now, and they don't want this to continue. I will go to my father's grave in Ohio, and I will call him to meet me there, and then I will do a session with him and ask him and my grandfather. My grandfather, when I was very young, he was in the First World War, and he had his side shot with machine guns fired. He was the only one that lived out of his whole group of the battalion he was with. And when he came home, he couldn't really work. And every afternoon when my aunts would go to work, they cleaned the schools in Cleveland, he would sit at the table and he had a tape recorder, and he would call the Knights of the Round Table together and speak with spirit. Wow. Now he was a man who actually was filled with positivity, and to live with machine gun fire going through you in the trenches of World War I, and this man lived. He was just amazing. And I think that a lot of times when he would come to me, my father would say, why doesn't my dad ever come to me? Why does he send messages through you? I said, I don't know, Dad, but this is what Grandpa told me. And I'd have dreams about things, and my grandfather would come to me, and he'd tell me what to tell my dad. So then after my dad died, I had a dream, and I saw my grandfather sitting next to my father's coffin. And my father sat up in the coffin, and my father said, Peg, and I will take it from here. And my grandfather said, now I will talk to him myself.
There you go.
Wow.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Beautiful story.
To help me.
Well, yeah. That's what you got to do. What goes around comes around. But we got to let Paul go to sleep now. So
yes, before he sits there and falls asleep live on air.
Yeah, there's still a couple callers still in the chat room. I'm sorry. On the boards up there. I'm sorry I didn't get to you. Maybe next time when we have him come back, and you guys can call in first or whatnot, and I will make sure I get you on there. So I appreciate you calling, and you all have a wonderful night. So thanks, Peg, for calling.
It's been so quick.
I appreciate everything that you insightfully gave me, just through hearing my voice and just through you being able to talk through me through your guide. And maybe I'll have to adopt a guide to kind of help me close off the vortex of energy here, so that my sleep pattern becomes a better, healthy sleep pattern.
Amen. Yeah.
Yeah. You've got it. You've nailed it. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So do that and call me tomorrow. Let me know.
Sure.
I will, dear. I love you, and thank you so much, both of the individuals who were on this call, and anybody that was hearing what I was saying. So thank you for being patient and listening, and I hope I not ruin their ability to have something set for them.
Hey,
If I did, I apologize. So
this is what
Oh
was
God,
supposed
maybe
to
no.
that's
happen.
something from what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes. This is what's supposed to happen. That's how it happens.
Okay.
All right. I
You're
love
welcome.
you guys.
So much. Okay.
All right. Bye.
Good
Good
night,
night,
all.
Greg.
Okay, bye.
Good night, my darling.
Good night.
Okay.
Good night, my love. Thank you very much.
All right. So let me. I'm gonna say goodnight
Wow.
to everybody in Facebook too, and thank you very much, and thank you for staying an extra half hour.
34 minutes.
So, I
Time
appreciate it.
keeper
Please
here.
share this video, and please get in touch with Paul. Paul Francis.
Before you hang up, please let everybody know that this will also be up on the Gina's YouTube channel, and we will find you the links to her audio channel. So this will also be on her audio shows.
Right,
And I love
right.
Paul
Yeah,
too.
Mama D is getting me, technically involved out there.
Technically challenged.
Yes, I'm technically challenged. She's involved, and she's getting me there with her. So, yeah, please like and share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, share Paul's YouTube channel. Roger Garza put his information in the chat room. That's always a
I'd like
plus.
to thank Roger for doing his work, his part in
Yeah,
the
he
chat
was
room.
working in the
Yes,
chat
good.
room. So, what we
Yeah.
couldn't do here, he was doing some over there, which was really good, really cool. Appreciate it. And hey, we'll see you all next week. And thanks for joining us. So, ciao for now, people.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me back. I really appreciate it.
I love you.
I love coming, and to have Mama is here is just an added bonus for me. Because
Yeah.
we've got a long history, and it's just an absolute pleasure. I can't believe how quickly 2.5 hours has gone by.
I know.
I know, whoosh, straight past.
It
So,
does. It does. Time flies when we're having fun. All right. But I am going to end the
oh,
Facebook
hey.
right now. So stay with me for a minute. All right. Bye, everybody.
Night, everyone.
Night, y'all.